What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I gotta have a conversation with you guys about Tiege Hanley because you see how the sun is hitting me. This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Tiege Hanley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people when I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Tiege Hanley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Tiege Hanley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for holding me down. I hope y'all enjoyed the show last night. It was an incredible show last night, must I add. Yeah, incredible show last night. Shout out to everybody that's holding me down on Cash App. So I gotta acknowledge the early Cash Appers. Shout out to my dog Mike, that dude, as usual. And then my dog Spencer Campbell in the building says, "Good morning, AD." We have Room 9 and the Helmet Gang in the building. Shout out to that. Yeah, shout out to all of the people that held me down in the show last night. It was incredible. It was awesome. Hold on. Hello. All right, I'm live now. All right, bye. Shout out to the custom shop. All right. So I had to have a navigator dropped off at the custom shop because we got to get some work done to it. Got to get the tents all the way around, first of all. Don't want everybody looking in your window. Who's that peeping in my window? Blow. Nobody now. Shout out to the Goody Mob. Shout out to Outcast, the greatest group in my opinion of all time. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to the chat. Helmet Gang is in the building. He said that's wild classic. Shout out to the Helmet Gang. Yeah, I'm a part of the Helmet Gang. Absolutely. Absolutely. Amazing show on the Q&A show says Jordan, don't hit your head against the wall. That's why we got a helmet. I rode my motorcycle in today. Yeah, got to get our water in. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I decided that I don't want to I don't set my alarm anymore. Crazy. Crazy how I've programmed myself to have to wake up on an alarm, or I'm used to it, or I just by default. You know how we just every day we just do stuff and it's just out of habit, how we heat up our food, how we do stuff. I just stopped for a minute yesterday. I just literally stopped and I said, you know what? This weekend, one of the things that I did was I turned off my alarm. And I said, when I wake up, that's when I'm going to start working. That's when I'm going to start taking care of business. Everything that I do today, everything I do nowadays is health related. Sufficient sleep, what time I decide that I want to close my eyes is going to determine what time that I wake up. Um, where I work out, the convenience and the locations of it in proximity to the different places that I am. You know what I'm saying? The type of gyms that I'm at now, it's got to be a little bit better. I'm just not going to show up in a prison and be working out down there and stuff like that. So I everything is just based off of health now. That's it. It's quality of life. Quality over quantity. Quality of life is where I'm at in my life nowadays. So I've earned it. I think I've earned it. I think I've earned it. So we here. All right. So absolutely we here. We in a great space. I want to acknowledge my dog. They call me Mr. Bibbs. Mr. Bibbs says, good morning from Detroit. Fell asleep last night. Wanted to ask this question. 100 women versus accountability. Who will win? Accountability. Accountability. Yeah. Yeah. Accountability all day, Mr. Bibbs. I'm sorry I got to say that. It's accountability. But we got after hours, so we're going to continue the conversation with your familial crew. All clavicles. All clavicles. I love it. I love it. So we got the familiar crew that's coming in tonight. And they put me back in old time, dog. You know what I'm saying? Drive Dream, Kev. A Wyatt says the way you were cooking last night, they're gonna have you coming off of the ground in the next Iron Chef show. Yeah, it was popping. It was popping last night. So, yep, we in there. We in there. That's an easy parlay right there. Can I speak to you? Can I speak with you about your stance against reparations, says Big Max. What is it that you would like to speak with me about? What is it that you would like for me to do about reparations? How would you like for me to change my position when it comes to reparations? I'm gonna turn it to money green and reparations money. What is it that you would like to speak with me about? You want me to change my position and say, yeah, you know what, y'all should get reparations and stuff like that. Black people deserve. We all deserve. Black people deserve reparations. Is that what you would like for me to say? You're not getting it anyway. Don't you, have y'all been watching the budget hearings and the meetings and the fighting back and forth between Trump and Elon Musk and the Republican House and then the Senate and Democrats? Have y'all been not watching the fact that they are fighting about the fact that we need to cut more out of the bill instead of adding more to the bill? Is it here's the question. Here's the question. Is it worth having a conversation about if it's not something that's ever going to come to fruition in the first place? Even the cities that say that they're going to study it is operating at a budget deficit. They don't even have money for the firefighters and the police officers. Chicago was down over 2,000 police officers and they over $1 billion budget deficit year over year over year. Eventually, they're going to put themselves in insolvency and file for bankruptcy. But he allocating $500,000 to study for reparations. That's just going in somebody's pocket. That's a new position that they created for somebody to go in somebody's pocket. What's the point? My father would say, Anton, what's the point of dealing with something or fighting for something that's not conducive to your lifestyle? Honestly, if I take a position of A or B, is it not wasted conversation because it doesn't translate into anything, is what I'm saying. That's all I'm asking. What's the point of talking about something that doesn't mean anything? Y'all want me to get all riled up and get our blood pressure up above 40 fighting for something that ain't never going to happen in the first place? You know what I'm saying? What's the point? What are we doing here? Keep hope alive, huh? That's the slogan for black people. Keep hope alive. I already got my reparations. I already went and got mine. I got mine on the individual level. Keep hope alive. That's the slogan for black people. Keep hope alive. They trying to cut the federal budget more. We not even solvent when it comes to Social Security. Our Social Security system is a Ponzi scheme. We're robbing the people today to pay for the people of yesteryear. What you want me to say? What do y'all want me to say? What do you want me to say? I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't care. I don't care either way. I promise you this. I promise you this. If we ever get reparations, I'll donate mine to some African cause. I'll send it over to Haiti or something. I don't know, whatever. If you ever get reparations, I'll donate it to some African American cause, the African American Museum here in Detroit. I'll give it away to black children that's out there struggling with a single mother and see if she don't steal it from him and go and buy an Escalade or a new Altima. Fair enough? Fair enough? If we ever get reparations, I'll give mine away to the next generation of Room 9 kids. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let me see. P Shank says, Anton, thanks for the birthday shout out yesterday. I love you, P Shank. Shout out to you. 392Q says, good morning, AD. Breaking news. Trump endorses the arrest of Governor Newsom. Sources from the leading report. I have to see that. I haven't seen that yet. I'm a local trucker and I have to deal with the LA riots. Don't worry about it. The Millionaire Morning Show gonna get you through the day, and then the after hours is gonna get you through the night. Get your reparations out of the market. We still waiting on somebody to give it to us. Meanwhile, the market is booming. Slan Sells Cars says, morning Anton, show last night was fire. I was looking for a snow bunny and not a crack bunny. Dolores says, good morning, Mr. Anton. Continue to be blessed. Courtney Yeager Show says, what's the word, AD? How you feeling, big dog? I feel amazing. 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 I feel amazing. Absolutely amazing. Chris Cunningham says, government assistance is reparations. I don't want to be on government assistance. The goal was to always be away from government assistance. All right, y'all. Again, shout out to the chat. Thank y'all for rocking out with us. Y'all ready to get into the show? I'm certainly ready to get into the show. Always got a dope show lined up for you guys. Within the next couple days, I think that Anton Daniels' channel was going to be crossing 600,000. We going to 1 million in less than a year. We going to 1 million in less than a year from now. From June 9th, we going to 1 million. So I'm gonna keep track for y'all, just for y'all that don't want to pay attention. It's going up. Anton Daniels should be crossing 600,000. But I'm more focused on after hours. So after hours, we journeying. We almost at, I don't know, 83,000 or something like that. I want to get that to 100,000. That's my baby right now. After hours, we got to get that to 100,000. After we focus on after hours, we're going to focus on the Millionaire Morning Show. We're going to get this to 400,000. And then we're going to focus on Darth Anton. All right. One thing at a time. One thing at a time. We got to run it up. Oh, and shout out to the bag chasers. How many chasers we got right now? Let me see something. Shout out to the chasers. Live stream tomorrow, since I'm not flying out this week. Decided to do it Wednesday instead of Monday. On AI. We're doing a live stream on AI tomorrow. So the bag chasers. Man, I can't even see it on here. Maybe I can see it on here. We are at 17,000 bag chasers. 17,051 chasers. All right. Information for the next meetup is in the description of the video. Oh, I'm sorry. It's in the Patreon. So make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Numbers is numbering. Oh, and let me do this one more thing while we doing housekeeping right now. All right. Let's go with Google. One more thing while we doing housekeeping. So I had to request that a bunch of people take my videos down yesterday. Why did I have to request for a bunch of people to take my videos down yesterday? Because y'all don't listen. Y'all don't. Now, I did not issue a copyright strike. I'm not issuing copyright strikes. That's not what's happening. But I did have to put the request in for y'all to remove the videos within 7 days. On YouTube specifically, not any other platform, only on YouTube. Well, why did I do that? Because the people are not abiding by the rules that I set forth. They're lifting my content and they're just putting it on their channel and they trying to pass it off as theirs instead of reacting to it, instead of transforming it in a way that is going to be conducive for everybody. They don't even give me credit in the videos. They just put it up there and act like it's theirs. You can't take content that I've spent a lot of time, money, resources, lift it, and just repost it on YouTube as though it's yours. So I had to request that a bunch of people take down a bunch of stuff because I've warned them. And before I even did that, I warned them. I went in their comments. I sent them a message and said, yo, please take original content that has not been reacted to or something like that and take it down. Please and thank you. Y'all don't even try. Y'all don't even try. Y'all just like, you know what? Minds. And then somebody gonna reply to me in the comments. I got a notification. They gonna reply to me and say, I thought you was trying to help us eat, big dog. So you just gonna be lazy. You ain't even gonna try. You ain't got no ambition whatsoever. You just gonna go to a YouTube downloader and download the video and then that just rock out. You ain't gonna make no effort. Ain't gonna change the thumbnail or nothing, huh? Just you. That's just yours. Yeah. So, didn't issue any copyrights, but definitely requested that people take some stuff down simply because what we doing? React to the content. Do something. You know what I'm saying? Modify something. Do something. Do anything. Good God. I look up on my thing, 100% of your video, 100% of your video, 100% of your video. Okay. Go ahead. Told my people, go ahead. Just put the request for them to take it down. Don't issue a copyright. Don't do none of that. Just let them figure it out. Good God. Anyways, I don't know why people don't listen. But I can always tell the people that's gonna listen, and I can always tell somebody. Actually, it was a couple people. It was a couple people that actually be in my chat that I didn't even request to take it down. I said I'm gonna just send them an individual message, just because I know them or just because I'm familiar with the fact. I'm familiar with who they are inside of the chat. I did. I seen a video of a YouTuber that was killed in Vegas on the live. You know what's so funny about that YouTuber that was killed in Vegas on the live? It was two YouTubers that was fighting, going back and forth, beefing online, right? And then we gonna get into the show after this. It was two YouTubers that was beefing, going back and forth on the live online. And it resulted in the familiar, yeah, pull up, I'm gonna be here or whatever. So one of them goes live. One of them is driving in the car, recording himself talking. The other one goes live in Vegas, and it can show exactly where his location is. The other guy that's driving in the car, they talking about, yeah, I'm going to issue a copyright strike on him and all of this other type of stuff. They talking big junk to each other. The other guy, he pulls up, and you can see on the live of the person that was showing where he is that they start, he starts shooting him, and he shoot him multiple times. Girl grab his phone. I seen it on X. X is a place where you find everything. And when I started doing some digging and some research on who these guys were, combined, both together, they didn't even have 16,000 subscribers combined. Combined, they didn't even have 16,000 subscribers together. This is why you got to stay away from the Dusties. This is why you have to stay away from Dusties. These dudes is crashing out. These feminine, overly feminine men, emotional men. One man dead. Another one is going to spend the rest of his life in jail. All over YouTube beef.
All over YouTube beef. And then they say, Anton, why do you walk around with security? Because I'm smart. Because I'm smart. I walk around with security because I'm wise. I didn't get to be 43 years old by being an idiot. They was beefing over YouTube. Beefing over who gonna copyright strike this person and all of this stuff. And it's like, that's why I don't even reply to Dusties. That's why I don't reply to Dusties. So dumb. Killed his wife too at the same time. Anton, do you have ops? I hope not. I only care about I only keep women around me. I don't keep angry men hanging around me, lurking, trying to figure out what they can steal. I only keep women around me. I don't a nice set of women and some security. Something nice to feel on, just in case. You know what I'm saying? just in case. Just in case I don't make it home tonight. Just in case. Women may set you up, but they ain't gonna kill you. They'll set you up, but they ain't gonna kill you. I just keep women around me. They be all feeling good, looking good, greased up, smelling good. As soon as they hug you, they give you that scent that Come here, come back here for a second. And they all going. They all going. Listen, one thing I know for sure, and two things is for certain. And let's get into the show, y'all. We 20 minutes in. One thing I know for sure, two things is for certain. I bet she going. I bet she going. Look, you could think what you want. Anton talk crazy. I think he hate women. She going. She going, dog. I promise you. I promise you on everything. Even when she come home and she say, I didn't go, she went. I bet you she did. I bet you she is, and I bet you she will. And she trying to go again. Y'all gotta stop putting so much faith in these women that y'all talking to. It only take a moment's notice. It's a moment of lapse and just look. I've dealt with women in my lifetime that when I was a much younger man. Let's preface it by saying that all right. Let me revise this because this is gonna be a conversation for after hours. Have y'all ever dealt for the fellas that's in the chat? For the fellas that's in the chat, have y'all ever dealt with a woman that got so far deep in and then she caught herself afterwards and was like, "Oh man, okay, I gotta get home. I can't do this anymore. I got a good man at home." Have y'all ever dealt with that type of woman? That's her version of post nut clarity. Oh, I got a good man. I can't mess it up. Next thing you know, she a better woman to him than ever before. He don't even know. He think it's something that he did. Oh man, that talk I had with her, just it must have really hit. No, no, she trying to catch herself before she fall too deep. Women know, they understand. She's trying to catch herself. If you've never experienced that, either A, you a really, really good guy, or B, you the guy that is the really good guy that she got to get herself together for. I can't be doing this. Oh my God, my hair is so frizzy. Oh, run into the run into the bathroom with a towel between her legs. That's your chick, bro. Run into the bathroom, towel between her legs, trying to gather herself. Hurry up and get into the car. You're just looking at her like she forgot her panties. Y'all ready to get this show is my own personal podcast. I don't get an opportunity to speak on a solo level, so this is the time that I get to get all my thoughts off. Dripping. Drip life. Nichelle, drip life. See, look at Mel. It's never worth it. It's never worth it. Been there, done that. It's never worth it. You got too deep. You in too deep. It's an emotional connection. We here. Anyways, make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Y'all ready to get into the show? Let me read a couple more super chats and then we're going to go from there. Shout out to my girl, Just a Brown Girl in America. Say, hey, good morning, Anton. What's up, St. Louis? Yeah, I'm going to start calling y'all by city. That's what I'm going to start calling y'all. I'm going to start calling you ladies by city. That's what happens when you give people the answers to the test. They copy and paste. Instead of getting a couple wrong here and there, they got to put the exact answer that you put. Pookie Spring Raver says, got himself and his wife murked over a YouTube beef on non-monetized channel and they did this for free. So stupid. Oh, here's my guy, Matt. Matt says, y'all desperately trying to convince black folks not to fight against government overreach. Y'all can fight all y'all want. Fight for it. Have at it. Chris Cunningham says she's ours. That's our chick. I'm going to just let her sleep at your house. It's never worth it. It's Melly. Mel Love has said it's never worth it. All right. Again, make sure I hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's get into it. So, these peaceful protests, Mel, don't worry about it. You took one for the team today. These peaceful protests has turned into what? So predictable. So predictable. This is like a script, a movie script. You know what this is like watching? This is like watching Final Destination. That's what it's like. It's like watching Final Destination. You already know what the plot of the movie is. You already know what's going to happen, but people go to the theater and they pay their money anyway to try to act like they're going to be surprised. Oh my God, I can't believe it. People died in this movie. It's the same script. Different city, different year. And I even predicted it a couple years ago. I said it. I said, man, it's going to be something else that distracts y'all from something that's meaningful. And then they're going to burn their cities down and they're going to loot. And they're going to run in the Apple store. They're going to run in the Adidas store. And they're going to run into all of these places. And they're going to say, oh my God, this was a peaceful protest, but Trump sent in troops and so it's his fault. Don't worry, we're going to get there. Again, hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's get to it, y'all.
Also, in downtown LA, it was hit hard by looters after most protesters, they already cleared the streets.
Multiple stores were ransacked and left with almost nothing on the shelves. KCON News reporter Tina Patel joins us now live with the chaotic scenes that we saw unfold overnight. Tina?
Yeah, police were out here in the jewelry district a little while ago. They have now left. There is still some private security here, as well as contractors who are trying to clean up the mess that was left behind. You can see one of the windows that has already been boarded up here at an Apple store. From our count, at least 5 stores in this area were broken into, many more vandalized. Take a look.
All those people out there, they look incredibly peaceful, y'all. Can you see the peace and them really fighting for human rights out there in Los Angeles at building unit 602?
You can hear the alarms going off as
not a police officer in sight. No, we don't need police officers. We got peace officers. We're going to defund the police and make sure that we get peace officers, preferably women, because it could be mental health that we're dealing with over here. No. We don't need law and order. We can police ourselves. Let's go ahead and make sure that we get these upset people out of the stores because they didn't even know how they got there.
A crowd of people broke into a jewelry store on 6th and Broadway just before midnight. It's not clear what those looters might have gotten away with or if any of them were arrested. But take a look at this video, because about a half hour later, we did see police detaining at least a couple people a couple blocks away. The Apple store here was ransacked. There were items all over the floor and sidewalk. A few of the glass windows and doors were shattered, and there was a lot of graffiti left behind. Now, across the street from here, there was also an Adidas store that was broken into, and that's actually the second night in a row the thieves targeted that store. Another shoe store in the area, a nearby pharmacy, were also burglarized. All of these stores are about a mile from where the protest took place last night. It's not clear if it was people from those protests who were responsible for all the looting and vandalizing, or if it was others taking advantage of the chaotic situation downtown. Here's what one person told us he saw.
What I witnessed is just groups of, all ages, all women, men, young kids, everybody just out. And tools, some people had saws, like I said, electric saws, so they came prepared.
Look like the Purge.
Now, we have checked in with LAPD to see if they have a total number of reports of burglaries, vandalisms in the area. We have not gotten that information yet, and we don't know if they're planning to do anything more to protect the businesses in this area, increase patrols or anything like that. They did, LAPD, put out a message on social media a couple nights ago asking any business owners that might be affected by looting or vandalism to report that and to also document any damage before they clean up. Now we want to check in with Mark Liu at the desk. Mark, I understand you have some new video of some of the damage we saw overnight.
Yeah, we just got some new video from more instances of looting, just like you had shown, Tina. This one, a CVS in the downtown area. This video just in, you can see this not far from that Adidas store that Tina was talking about. A CVS here being looted by more than 30 people wearing masks. Now, LAPD also is aware of this one as well. You can see the doors to that pharmacy smashed open. There's people walking.
What are y'all walking out with CVS?
Aware of this one as well. You can see the doors to that pharmacy smashed open. There's people walking out with buckets full of merchandise from inside that store. Now, as Tina had mentioned, this was not the only episode of looting. It happened about a mile from where most of the protests were happening over the last 48 hours. And if you come out to my screen, I'm going to give you an idea of where all this was going on. Okay, so this is downtown LA. Now, most of the protests over the last 48 hours have been in the northern part of downtown LA, near City Hall and the Metropolitan Detention Center. Now, the looting overnight took place much further to the south. This here is the instance of the CVS I just showed you, and that Adidas that was at Broadway and 6th. And then a little bit later, about an hour after that looting at midnight, there was an Apple store at Broadway.
What kind of drugs is they going for, y'all? That's what I'm asking. They going to get diabetes medicine? What is it that they looking for, y'all? That's what I'm trying to figure out. What kind of stuff are they breaking into these stores and destroying these places for?
Broadway and 8th, you can see just down Broadway.
Yeah, the bootleg soundtrack is a little bit extra. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and pivot over to a different video. Let's see what we got over here. This is what's happening. Look at this craziness. somehow arresting illegal migrants in the United States of America in Los Angeles ended up with people rioting and then actually destroying and stealing from all of the local stores in Los Angeles and downtown Los Angeles. What did I say was going to happen? What did I say was comparable to what happened in 1967 in Detroit, except for the issues is different? What did I say was going to happen? And then you know what happens? Big box retailers, small retailers. If a retailer was struggling, if a small business owner was struggling, hey, leave the door slightly cracked. Don't worry, they're going to bust it on their way out. Let them steal some ham and mac and cheese, and then file an insurance claim, get a payout, move out, and then you can go ahead and live your life happily ever after. Move to another city, open up somewhere else, and you straight. That's the play. Because you know what happens? Business owners don't rebuild and reopen. The only ones that rebuild and reopen is is the ones that don't either A, don't have insurance, or B, they don't have anywhere else to go. But what happens is all of the businesses leave, all of the revenue leaves, there is no more jobs in the area, no businesses, no large anchor businesses, they don't want to open up there. The malls die, small business die, and homeless take over. Police officers, they start to be down. Revenue in the city coffers go down, and then that's when you have a city ultimately go bankrupt, and it goes south from there. It goes south from there. And then they're going to complain, how come we don't have no grocery stores? And here's the biggest one. It's systemic. They're purposely not trying to open up anything so that they can take our land. No, that's why. That's why right there. That's why. If there was any kind of momentum that you guys could have created for yourself to get things back rolling over in these certain areas and certain places, to get people to move back in, to make people feel safe about going outside and to raise their children there and all of that stuff, to use public transportation, is dead. It's 100% dead. LA, over. You know where it's going to happen next? I'm telling you right now. Chicago. Chicago is up next. Listen. I know you don't believe it. I know you don't want to hear it. I know you think, I'm telling you right now that it is going to hit Chicago next. This is not just going to be an LA thing. This is going to be a sanctuary city thing. Large sanctuary cities, they're going to do the same thing over in Chicago. And they're just going to push them right on over the edge. And this is the thing that's going to happen. This is the thing that's how it's going to play out. And it's unfortunate. It really is. It's very, very bad. It's unnecessary. Unnecessary. Of course it wouldn't happen to Dubai, Cliff. You know why? Because they believe in law and order and they heavy-handed when it comes to penalties. They're heavy-handed when it comes to penalties. New York is a little bit more insulated against this, Moses King. New York is not next. New York is a little bit more insulated. Eric Adams, he's a former cop. He's technically Republican. He switched over from being Democrat. And it's too much money in New York. New York is still the financial capital of the world. New York is still the financial capital of the world. They not letting that happen in New York. They arresting people at Columbia. They throwing you into jail in New York. New York is going to be insulated. New York is going to be fine. It's always going to be money in New York because even people outside of the country want to wash their money by investing in real estate in New York. All right? Institutional investors. Billionaires Row. Most of those units is not even occupied. It's a way for them to store money. Real estate is a way for rich people to store money because we don't care about cash anymore. So New York is going to be fine. They're not going to have the same problem. But these other cities that have a crazy budget deficit, New York's budget is insane. New York got an insane budget. But yeah, man, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. No, they don't play this in Dubai. They don't play this nowhere. They don't play this nowhere. It's so stupid. But welcome to America. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let me read some of the super chats, and then we're going to get over to the next part because this part broke my heart. This next story broke my heart. At least now we know who the enemy is. We've been knew who the enemy is. Messy Mathematician says it's not a protest, it's a large gathering. Shout out to Brandon Johnson. Sonny Robinson says the Honorable Malcolm X talked about this and called it a racial powder keg and is more dangerous than any bomb. Chris Cunningham says a bunch of poor people, that's all. MP goes on to say, AD, I took your advice and purchased a Google cybersecurity certification program and started my journey last night. I don't know if I told you about a cybersecurity program, but going into cybersecurity is a play. They need to borrow RoboCop from Detroit. Shout out to Just Christian. Jermaine English says opioids and codeine. So they want to be leaned out. The Big Euro Short says, just like Chicago, all the stores will move out of LA because of crime and turn it into a dead zone. Just like Oakland. Just like Oakland. Chris Cunningham says they had the audacity to... Oh, we going to get there. That's what I'm going to next. And I was going to the Olympics in 2028. I thought it was 2026. When is somebody in the chat tell me, when is the Olympics supposed to be over in Los Angeles? Wrong, AD. NY is fixing to vote in a progressive socialist as mayor. Look it up. I got to see it happen before I actually make that conclusion. 876 Vlog says y'all better keep all of that in LA County and don't come to the OC or IE. Big Euro Short says a lot of places still haven't recovered from Floyd protests and riots in 2020. And they never will. And they never will. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. All right, let's get to it. This broke my heart. Broke my heart. Couldn't believe it. I said, nah, listen. The one thing that I thought that Los Angeles was good for. Because I seen y'all mess it up the first time, and then Luka Doncic says, you know what? Well, we going to fix it. We not going to trip about it. I'm going to donate in order to fix it, right? The one thing that I thought that LA would stand 10 toes down on, you may not be in alignment with Trump. You may want to rock out with Governor Gavin Newsom. You may like Karen Bass. Maybe y'all a little bit more sassy on the weekends than you're out during the weekdays. But I said that, you know what? Nobody in their right mind, not one person, not a whisper, nobody would desecrate Kobe and Gigi. You know how much that broke our hearts when they died? I felt like I knew them. When Kobe passed away, I just got a chill that just went down my body right now, literally. When Kobe passed away, it was probably the only time in my life that I've ever wanted to cry or was about to cry. I teared up a little bit when Kobe died. When I found out that his daughter was with him, I said, nah, y'all trolling. Y'all trolling. Olympics is in 2028. Okay, thank y'all for giving me some insight. Thank y'all for the insight. Summer Olympics is 2028. All right. Thank you. I teared up because it was almost like, oh, no. Not cold. Not cold while he was being a good father. Anything but cold. I mean, across the nation, nobody would do that, would they? And you know what y'all did? That should be a national monument. It should be a monument to not mess with the Kobe statue over there in Los Angeles. I can't believe it. And look what they did. Look how they did it.
Vandalized again. The Kobe and Gianna Bryant mural downtown LA has been spray painted white and gray just weeks after being restored. You're watching Eyewitness News at 11:30 live on ABC7, Hulu, and wherever you stream. I'm Colleen Sullivan.
And I'm Philip Palmer. The Kobe and Gianna Bryant mural had just been restored thanks to a donation by Lakers player Luka Doncic.
Now police are looking whether both events were caused by the same people. Eyewitness News reporter Sid Garcia is live with more on this story. Sid.
Honestly, guys, it's just heartbreaking to see, like you mentioned, second time in a month. What's going to happen now, it's still up in the air, but the fans we talked to just simply said it's messed up. The mural at 14th and Main Street has been vandalized again. Someone scribbled all over the mural of Kobe and Gigi Bryant with white spray paint. It was on display for a few years before someone decided to deface it the first time. In April, somebody used black spray paint to vandalize it, leaving some profane stuff on there. This morning, fans who came by to see it shared with us that they're disgusted and upset that someone would do this again. As mentioned, new Laker Luka Doncic paid to have it redone after the first time it was vandalized. What's going to happen now? That's still up in the air. We've reached out to the artist, so we're waiting to hear back from him. Here's a sample of what fans told us when they came out here to check it out.
I think this is horrible. I mean, Kobe's a legend in LA, and the guy who did it, he can't possibly be from LA, you know? Well, he got to be crazy because this is so disrespectful, not only to Kobe, but to the city, you know? And I can't believe it. It happened second time.
Sad, man. It's messed up because, first of all, it's Kobe, it's Gigi, it's a mural, it represents something, right? And I'm sure it was probably some low life, you know, nothing better to do, or I don't know. I really don't know why people do this. It's pretty sad. It's for lack of a better term, it's messed up. It's not right.
I don't, it's not chores. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not chores. Why are you, and I understand criminals do what criminals do. Low lives do what low lives do. I get it. I get the whole logic behind people being dusty. Hold on one second, y'all. Hey, Les. You said what now, baby?
You want, for the car, you want it gray on top, black on bottom, because they were asking if they thought you wanted the Virgil one with the orange on the bottom.
What do you think? What do you think?
I don't know. It's up to you. I don't know.
Nah, go with the gray. Go with the gray.
Okay, so gray on the top and then black on the bottom.
Yeah, gloss.
Okay, and then you want it tinted too?
All the way around. The same tints that we always get for all of the cars.
20% and 5%.
Whatever you usually get.
Okay.
Is there anything else we think we should get?
No, I think that's good. I was just wondering because they thought you wanted the Virgil one.
Nah, I don't want to do that one. I want to do the regular gray.
Okay.
Should we put some tires on it, some wheels on it?
I don't know. It's up to you.
Just get that for now, and then if we want to do something different.
We can do it later.
All right.
Okay.
All right, bye. I don't understand, man. I don't. I just don't get the whole idea of people desecrating and tearing up something that's not theirs, that they didn't have any contribution to. It's so stupid.
32 right now. Well, it has happened again. So look at this right here. White spray paint now covers this mural of Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gigi in downtown LA.
It's really just awful to see. Now, this same mural was just recently restored on Friday after it was vandalized in April. NBC4's Brittany Hope is live at Crypto.com Arena. So you have already heard from the artist this morning, right, Brittany?
Yes, and he's thinking of now moving this mural. You know, this is a gut punch, but he says situations like this, he's looking at the positive. He says they bring unity and that setbacks make us wiser and stronger. He sent a really long statement, and I posted the full version on my Instagram, but here's a snippet of it. He said in part, quote, "Everything happens for a reason, and now we want to reach out and get this piece done in collaboration with another business or foundation, all donated by us and no charge to the new location. The project will be better than the last with a proper wall, whether indoor or outdoor, for our community and people to appreciate." So again, this is what the mural looks like this morning at the corner of 14th and Main Streets in downtown. All of that white spray paint is now swiggled across the entire work of art. And again, this isn't the first time. On April 29th, someone put black and white spray paint all over.
Purpose is everything says, do we get mad like this when God's name is used in vain? Don't have nothing to do with one, don't have nothing to do with the other. It's two separate things, it's two separate issues. Like, you're conflating issues in order to try to justify how you believe. That has nothing to do with anything. Zero to do with anything. It has everything to do with, in this particular issue or this particular instance, this is just disrespectful for what people tried to create in remembrance of two people that they actually think had a really good relationship and represented the community and represented Los Angeles well. This don't have nothing to do with the other. Bad people are bad people. Bad people are bad people.
For the mural, even writing profanity. And just this past Friday, literally a few days ago, we were reporting when the mural was finally restored. The artist Louis Slow Motions worked hard to bring it back to life, and with the help of Lakers star power. Newcomer Luka Doncic.
You said what you said. Okay, I hear you. That's why I acknowledged you. What you trying to be confrontational? I acknowledge what you said. I don't agree. I don't think that this has anything to do with the other at all. Not whatsoever. I don't think that has anything to do with whatsoever.
Doncic donated $5,000 to the restoration, saying he was happy to do anything to make sure Kobe and his daughter are honored. Now, we are reaching out to the Lakers this morning about this. The artist does have a message for whoever did this. He said that he's praying for them, and he hopes that whatever they're going through gets better. He also says that he is sending love and his apologies to the Bryant family.
They need to do something else. Like, you got to put a camera up around there. You got to do something. You got to put a camera up around there, and you got to do something, because for people to just come over there and vandalize it, and that's the problem, is that you leave stuff open to the public so that everybody could be able to enjoy it, right? But eventually somebody is going to be a bad actor, and you don't want that to happen. And so if you don't listen, like baby girl that just said what she said, if you don't care for it, that's one of those situations where you say, oh, okay, well, I just won't participate. Because, like, for example, she said, are people getting upset when people use God's name in vain? Which is completely irrelevant to this particular issue. But instead of her taking a position of, man, there's some bad actors out here and we need to get these people up out of here, or we need to lock up the people that are destroying stuff that's not theirs, because that's a universal thing. Regardless of whether you're a believer or not, people that do stuff illegal or destroy other people's properties, they shouldn't be free on the street. We always want to get mad at the people that are mad about the fact that the bad actors are out here doing the stuff that they're not supposed to do. Before you start holding people accountable that's upset at the fact that things are happening or vandals are doing stuff that they're not supposed to do, get mad at the vandal. Get mad at the person that destroyed property. Get mad at the people that go and buy spray paint and do stuff that they're not supposed to do. Why do we always get mad when somebody else is upset instead of getting mad at the person that's perpetuating the crime? That's the part that I don't understand. Put a clear covering over it. They got to do something, man. They got to do something. If this wasn't LA and this was Detroit, I would donate to get something else. Put some cameras up or something. I would donate to it. And y'all in the chat, don't be acting extra. Don't attack her looks. Like, she cool. She just participating. I like the fact that she's engaged and that she has a disagreement. I'm cool with that. I like the fact that she got her profile picture. I think she looked kind of cute. Fellas, let me just say this. And shout out to Kobe and Gigi, and even Vanessa Bryant. Fellas, can I give y'all a little bit of advice? When somebody says something that you don't agree with, especially if it's a woman, you don't have to necessarily try to attack the way that they look. All right? That's unnecessary. I don't know why y'all do that. We all just regular people. We all just look normal. Why do y'all do that? Why do y'all feel the need to try to go off on somebody and say, oh man, you look like this, or I don't like your red hair or something like that? How is that relevant to the conversation? You could disagree with somebody on the point, but why do y'all always, you know what? Now I understand why women be feeling some type of way when y'all try to talk to them and then they turn y'all off or they turn y'all down and they say, nah, I don't want to talk to you. I'm just not going to respond to you. Then y'all say some wild stuff. Well, fuck you then, bitch. I don't understand like what? It's not even warranted right now. Come on, man. We got to grow up. If we want people to respect us, like stick with the whatever it is that we talking about. If we disagreed and say, oh, you know what, that's ghetto or whatever, so on and so forth. But you can't just start attacking the way that somebody look just because you don't agree with them. Attack their talking point. Like that's so elementary school. We got to grow up. Honestly, we got to grow up. Anybody want to talk to you anyway, bitch? Anton called me gay because I support student loan forgiveness. The hypocrisy is crazy. You don't even have a profile picture. We don't know what you are. Of course I'm going to talk about you and I'm going to call you. I'm going to say you got sassy tendencies. 100%. I don't remember calling you gay, but it sounds like something I would say. Hey, girl. I don't respect. They can't talk about your looks because you got a G in your profile and you say G and L. We don't even know what you are. You could be a trans person. Of course, I could say anything I want to somebody that we can't even identify. You fluid. Now listen, new rule. If you don't have a profile picture, then I'm going to give y'all a little bit longer of a leash to say some of the things that you want to say to the person. G and L is for gay and lesbian. people that don't have a profile picture, I'm gonna give y'all a longer leash. Now the same rules apply. All right, the same rules apply. Don't be disrespectful. Don't go crazy. But my leash may be a little bit longer because they scared to even show themselves. All right. So if you don't have a profile picture, then you can have y'all can go in a little bit more than you normally would. But if a person has a profile picture and they family, we don't treat family like that. We stick with the talking points. All right. That's a new rule. New rule. You take that Loso. See, even when I get on y'all and I tell y'all don't do this, and I'm giving y'all a little bit more opportunity to go in a little bit harder. Shout out to gay and lesbian. Make sure y'all hit a like for algorithm. Subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. GNL stands for gay and lesbian. Antoine Johnson says, that's why I was proud of Detroit when they stopped them COVID riots. Yeah, we ain't playing that nonsense. Come over here and try that nonsense if you want to. We shutting everything down. Don't tear nothing up. Take your ass home and go back to the suburbs. Because it don't be nobody that's actually in the city. Let me say this. When you see these riots, when you see people come and tear up murals and stuff, when you see protesters and a lot of this stuff, most of the time, not all of the time, most of the time, they don't be from the place that they tearing up. They come from way out. In this instance, they be in Taylor, Melvindale, Dearborn Heights, Novi, and then they drive down because they feel like they can get away with it, and they put a mask on because they cowards, and then they come down and they try to tear up. That's the honest to God truth. Most of the time, they do not even be from the place that they tearing up. They don't do that junk. I checked somebody the other day. Well, I didn't check them. I just made sure that I pointed things out very forcefully. And somebody had just threw some trash out. And I was like, yo, you wouldn't do that where you from? Stop. Don't just throw trash. Man, throw it. The trash can is right there. You telling me you can't walk an additional 5 to 8 feet to go and throw it in the trash, you just going to, and then I picked their trash up and I threw it away for them. I'm not going to wait for it. Don't litter in my city. Don't tear up. Because you don't do that where you at. You don't do it wherever you from. And you can tell when they not from here. You can tell when they not from here. People need to start standing up. I wish the good people would actually say something sometimes. I wish that people don't just let other people just do stuff and disrespect their city and then they go home. And you go home and you make sure that your grass is manicured and cut and all of this stuff, but then you just throw your beer because you're drunk. You just throw it on somebody else's lawn, walking in your car. I hate that. Hey, man, you know the trash can is right there, right? Smoking, flick it out the window and land on the car behind them. Dumb junk. Just dumb junk. I can't stand that. And they don't even be there. They don't even be from where they at. People not playing that junk no more. They tired of that. Let me read some more of these super chats and we're going to move over to the next part of the show. We got to get to these riots and the Marines. When Kobe died, I was at the St. Louis car show watching cars drift. I was the first to know and dropped to my knees screaming and definitely broke my... It was heartbreaking, bro. It was rough. That was a rough time. Wait, this has happened before? What is wrong with these people? Yeah, Luca actually donated to fix it the first time. Insurance companies do not pay out when property damages are caused by rioting and acts of civil unrest. This is why Minneapolis and Baltimore did not rebuild since their riots, like war zones. Thank you, Janice. I didn't know that. Blackout says I lost faith in humanity when they made fun of Kobe and Kevin Samuels' death. The destruction of his mural doesn't even surprise me. No, we not surprised. Wait, you call somebody gay and they still watch the show? You the king of YouTube, AD. I am the gray way. I am. You know what? Because it's just like bad kids. They want to be chastised. They want to be held accountable. We got to hold them accountable. Make sure I hit a like for the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Trump! Y'all done messed up now. Podcast. I'm going to read that shortly. Y'all done messed up now. All of this rioting, all of this looting, throwing rocks on cars on the freeway, getting belligerent, running around with Mexican flags, breaking into stores. All right, now we got to send in the Marines. Now we sending in Marines. Trump said he's sending in the Marines and he's sending in more National Guards people in order to control what the incompetent leadership over in Los Angeles refused to do. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. This is what's happening.
We do begin tonight with Los Angeles bracing tonight after sweeping immigration raids sparked protests and clashes tonight. A U.S. official now confirming to ABC News 700 Marines are now on their way to Los Angeles to join California's National Guard, which was deployed by the president, not that state's governor. Late this afternoon, a peaceful protest after the arrest of a union leader, but the city is bracing for nightfall. It was a far different scene over the weekend. Protesters setting off fireworks right there, police officers right nearby. A line of self-driving vehicles set on fire. Crowds shutting down the 101 freeway downtown. LAPD officers trying to move them off. The moment a U.S.-based correspondent from Australia reporting on the protests, you can see there she's hit by an officer's rubber bullet. President Trump going over the governor's head, sending the state's National Guard to the scene, and tonight he's now sending hundreds of these U.S. Marines. Our chief national correspondent, Matt Gutman, leading us off tonight on the scene in Los Angeles. Matt is one-on-one with Border Czar Tom Homan tonight.
Tonight, 700 Marines are on their way to the streets of Los Angeles to assist the National Guard and law enforcement tamp down violent clashes with protesters angry over the Trump administration's immigration policies and arrests. Over the past 72 hours, pockets of LA descending into chaos. Protesters setting cars on fire, dumping bikes and scooters on police cruisers on the highway. Law enforcement firing hundreds of flashbangs and non-lethal projectiles and making dozens of arrests. It got so heated in the streets that a British photographer needed emergency surgery after being struck by a non-lethal projectile.
Moving them on through the...
And there was this moment. Watch as a correspondent for 9 News Australia
You just shut the
reporting on the protest when an officer hits her with a rubber pellet. And tonight, an escalating war of words between California Governor Gavin Newsom and Donald Trump. Newsom suing the president for creating the conditions for this chaos when he sidestepped California officials to deploy thousands of National Guard troops.
Are you going to deploy Marines in California?
We hope to have the support of Gavin because Gavin's the big beneficiary as we straighten out his problems. I mean, his state is a mess.
Newsom then slammed by Trump and border czar Tom Homan for his response to the unrest. Homan initially suggesting the governor should be arrested, something Trump seemed to support just hours ago.
I would do it if I were Tom. I think it's great. Gavin likes the publicity, but I think it would be a great thing. He's done a terrible job.
Newsom responding again, calling that an unmistakable step toward authoritarianism. I asked Homan about that.
If Gavin Newsom crosses whatever threshold it is and violates the law, do you have the authority to arrest him?
If he broke the laws like any other U.S. citizen, we'll ask the Attorney General to investigate, and they'll prosecute. Tom Homan's not going to prosecute.
Spontaneous clashes began Friday as federal agents conducted multiple operations in and around Los Angeles. By Saturday, protests, mostly peaceful, grew larger when agents were seen staging in nearby Paramount, California. And by Sunday, a convoy of heavily armed and camouflaged troops arrived. We watched as the clashes intensified as the day progressed.
Just moments ago, there's some projectiles being thrown. Just moments ago, a motorcycle seemed to try to break through the police.
My interpretation of a peaceful protest is much different than this. In my mind, it just looks a little bit different. Is people, with their signs, holding them, going up and down, marching in a circle, kind of sort of looks like a strike from the UAW or for Teamsters when they walk out on their jobs and they got a picket line type of thing. That's always been my perspective of what a peaceful protest looks like. This looks like a war zone. If you just told me to turn off the audio and play what is happening over in California, Los Angeles, it looks like a war zone.
Skirmish line, and now you can hear all those flashbangs going off. Police are trying to push those protesters back, firing those less than lethals at very close range, and you can see those projectiles being thrown over. Now that motorcyclist being hauled in here, looks like he's being arrested.
LAPD's chief overnight saying they may need more help.
We are overwhelmed as far as the number of people out there engaged in this type of activity and the type of things that they're doing.
And thousands today gathering peacefully, calling for the release of a prominent union leader arrested Friday during one of those workplace raids.
A lot of us are American citizens. So then what are we working for? What is the American dream? It doesn't even exist when you're picking people out of the street.
David, just want to give you a sense of where we are. This is the federal building in downtown Los Angeles.
No, does anybody have a job? When I look at all of those people in California, and shout out to Classic, my guy said we'll be a bag chaser soon on Cash App. I appreciate you, Classic. Thank you, big dog. When I look at all of these people that's been hanging out in the streets during the daytime, because adults usually have somewhere to be, something to take care of. If you work the night shift, then you usually sleep during the daytime so that when the kids is up and when the kids come home, you can be present for whatever it is that you need to do. You know what I'm saying? Usually, when you get home off of the night shift, when you work midnights is usually from 11 or 12 to 7 or 8, right? And you get home, and so you try to have a sense of normalcy. And you go to sleep during that time. You try to sleep for about 8 hours, and then you get up and you try to be a productive human being until it's time for you to go to work. If you work in the daytime, then that means that you got to get back and forth to work. You work at the hospital, you work at the plant, you work at the office, corporate America, you Silicon Valley or something like that. What are all of these people doing out there every day? Unless they are paid protesters. Unless they are paid protesters. We gonna talk about it, Slimmy. We gonna talk about it tonight.
And there are probably a couple hundred peaceful protesters here outside, and you can see that line of federal agents and California National Guard.
And if everything is so peaceful, this is my second question. Y'all. If everything is so peaceful, Why does everybody have a mask on with no COVID? Why does everybody got a mask on with no COVID if everything is so peaceful? Why does everybody got a mask on? When they started wearing masks during the vid, I said, oh, this is a precursor to crime. This is a precursor for people being able to walk around and look like and do what they want to do when they want to do it and feel a little bit of anonymity. You know what I'm saying? They can feel like Batman. Why does everybody got a mask on if everybody is so peaceful?
Right now, everything is peaceful, but on the other side, there are probably about 100 LAPD in riot gear. Now, Tom Homan telling me that he supports additional troops in downtown Los Angeles, but a short time ago, Governor Gavin Newsom tweeting that the presence of active duty Marines here in Los Angeles is un-American.
Wait a minute. What's she doing out there? What's she doing out there? Why is she out there is what I'm asking. Why are women out there in general? I'm just asking a question. Don't shoot the messenger. I just got to ask the question. What is she doing out there? All right. Let me pivot for a second. Because Gavin Newsom is trying to stop the Marines from coming into Los Angeles to get some order and control. He wants to let the stores continue to burn down.
Straight to Fox News Alert, President Trump calling in additional National Guard members and 700 Marines to respond to the violence and anti-ICE riots in Los Angeles.
So let's get to Jonathan Hunt, who's live on the ground in L.A. What's it looking like this morning, Jonathan?
What's up, Mika?
Well, Ainsley, frankly,
Mika.
It is a lot less
I think I might be more. I like Mika more than when I first met her. Mika might be a little bit. She higher up on the totem pole than I realized. What up, Mika? I'm starting to fall for Mika a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Every time I see her, she be looking. We'll talk about it in a minute. We got after hours tonight. She not gonna be there, so I can talk about her while she's not there.
Tense on the streets of downtown LA this morning than it was just 24 hours ago. We were standing here in front of the Metropolitan Detention Center yesterday morning talking to you guys. This entire street was blocked off. National Guard troops were stationed right across it. Now, as you see there's just a handful of those National Guard troops out the front of the Metropolitan Detention Center. So it is a different situation this morning. You definitely feel a lessening of the tension. Having said that, that is not to say that there were not intense clashes once again last night throughout downtown LA. Thousands of protesters were once again roaming the streets, trying to damage federal buildings. They were stopped from doing so by the National Guard, who ranged themselves in front of a cluster of federal buildings here. And then the LAPD, along with the LA Sheriff's Department, California Highway Patrol, ran a pretty efficient operation, separating those groups from each other, getting them into smaller and smaller groups, effectuating arrests and using tear gas, using flashbang grenades, and in some cases rubber bullets to maintain control. Meantime, U.S. Marines are on the way here. They left their base at 29 Palms yesterday. That's in the Palm Springs area east of Los Angeles. We understood that they staged overnight at Naval Station Seal Beach, but they should be on the streets of LA later today. That prompted this ex-post from Governor Gavin Newsom, who said, quote, "The Secretary of Defense is illegally deploying them onto American streets so Trump can have a talking point at his parade this weekend. It's a blatant abuse of power. We will sue to stop this." But given what we saw on Sunday, the very intense clashes, and the slightly less so on Monday, there is an argument that President Trump can make that the deployment of federal resources is working. In the meantime, the search for those engaged in violent acts on the streets of LA goes on. This man has been a particular target. He was seen on video throwing rocks at law enforcement officers. Well, the Attorney General Pam Bondi announced on Hannity last night that they know who he is. Listen here to.
Did you just see him throw that?
Announced on Hannity last night that they know who. Announced on Hannity last night that they know who he is. Listen here to. Did you just see him throw that? Announced on Hannity last night that they know who he is. Listen here to. Announced on Hannity last night that they know who he is. Listen here to. Announced on Hannity last night that they know who he is. Listen here to. Announced on Hannity last night that they know who he is. Listen here to. Announced on Hannity last night that they know who he is. Listen here to. Announced on Hannity last night that they know who he is. Listen here to. Announced on Hannity last night that they know who he is. Listen here to. Announced on Hannity last night that they know who he is. Listen here to. Announced on Hannity last night that they know who he is. Listen here to. Announced on Hannity last night that they know who he is. Listen here to. Announced on Hannity last night that they know who he is. Listen here to. Announced on Hannity last night that they know who he he is. Listen here to the Attorney General.
That guy has just been identified, and they are doing a search warrant on his house as we speak. So you can run, you can't hide. We are coming after you federally. If you assault a police officer, if you rob a store, if you loot, if you spit on a police officer, we're coming after you.
Probably not even from here. El Padillo Reyna? Is that what his name is? 40? You 40, dog. You 40. You're 40 years old, and now you on Fox News with a flyer on you. And you've been arrested before, and that's why they got the mugshot of you. So they got your mugshot, they got you on the motorcycle, they got you climbing on cars, they got you throwing stuff at federal officers. Oh my God. And they put a reward out on you? Hold on. Doggy, dog world, family. They put the same amount on your head that they put the escaped inmates down in Louisiana. They put 50,000 on your head, the same amount that they put on the inmates. And he celebrated shout out to Antoine Massey. Antoine Massey celebrated his birthday as a free man yesterday. He broke out of prison. He said, I'm not going back until after my birthday, and I'm having a good time out here. He been out of prison for a month. Tattoos on his face and all. He celebrated a birthday yesterday. They got the same amount on your head that they got on Antoine Massey, the escaped inmate in Louisiana, because you wanted to throw rocks at police officers. Now they got 50 bands on your head. I'm snitching for 50 bands. I don't even like you. You a 40-year-old idiot. You a 40-year-old man that's not even from the United States of America, and you out here throwing rocks at police. I'm snitching. Man, let me run into Eladio. I'm going to just call him Eladio. Let me run into Eladio and let me see him. I ain't even... Excuse me, ma'am. I just got to use the phone really quickly. You got a phone? Don't worry about it. I ain't got no reception. Eladio is in the grocery store with his daughter buying apples. Send police and SWAT team immediately. Please have my $50,000 available at the time of the arrest. Yes, I'm sure it's him. Sent. I want my 50 bands. 50 bands is 50 bands. I don't care what you talking about. I don't care how much I make. I don't care what YouTube paying. I don't care what my sponsorship. 50,000 is 50,000. 50,000, 50,000. Busting it down with my bag chasers. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. You 40 years old.
That man's name is Elpidio Reyna. Authorities say they will find him and anyone else who engages in violence. Back to you guys.
All right, Jonathan. It's calm right now. Thank you, Jonathan Hunt, on the scene. It's calm right now. But it's literally, it should be calm right now. It's at 5 a.m. But I really worried that they're organizing tonight to take on the 700 Marines, the 2,000 National Guard.
4,000 now.
Right, who decides to show
OG Pope says 50K is after taxes is 25. I don't care what it is. I want it. Before taxes, after taxes, whatever it is that you want to frame it as, send me my 50. I wanted to say 50 on the stub before you take whatever you take out. Then we can figure that out later. I'm going to go and talk to my tax guy. We're going to figure that out. I'm going to get that other 25 back anyway. I got a mean tax guy. I want my 50, bro.
up for the LAPD, because what they're doing now is defiling federal property, but they're also shutting down traffic and commerce in this area. At one point, the local officials have to take up and take a stand. They just sit there in their bunker, put on a windbreaker, and do a press conference, and they let President Trump basically is forced to take control of this unrest.
Lawrence, this guy that's on the side of the road pelting cop cars with cement, with cinder blocks, they should make him pay for it.
That's exactly
Anyone
right.
who does this vandalism and looting.
He's got no money.
Because he's throwing the money, he's throwing the blocks.
Take it out of his
through the
paycheck.
windshield.
He should have to pay for those cars to get fixed, not
Look
the
at this dude.
taxpayers.
All these people claim,
And he was
a lot
accurate.
of them, that they came to this country for a better life. Meanwhile, they're assaulting our cops, putting their old country's flag up, and causing total mayhem in a once great city. But the leaders aren't doing anything. This is what they're saying.
These are not the people that we were told were going to be detained. And it makes me feel like our city is actually a test case for what happens when the federal government moves in and takes the authority away from the state or away from local government. I don't think that our city should be used for an experiment to see what happens in the nation's second largest city. Well, maybe we can do this to other cities.
Excuse me, that's not.
If this is not the most incompetent leadership that I've ever seen, if this is not the case that we need to get rid of diversity, equity, and inclusion, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. Los Angeles, or whatever y'all want to call yourselves, Los Angeloses, or Compton's most wanted, whatever y'all want to frame it as. When you look at this woman, do you see strong leadership and confidence on that things are going to be what they need to be? This is the dumbest. Let me just be very clear. I think that Karen Bass is an idiot. I think that she's stupid. I think that she's dumb. And I have to just start questioning the logic and the mindset of the people that voted her into office and said that I want this lady to be my mayor. I would never vote for a woman like this. I would never vote for a woman that speaks like this. I would have zero confidence that this woman could lead me. I would never pick a leader. Dog, I wouldn't pick this woman to be my leader in corporate America. Sometimes when we get jobs, right? When we get these positions, we get jobs. There are some people that's been put into these positions that we may disagree with. That's nothing that we can do about that. We can't pick the person that's above us. We can't, but we have an opportunity to do so when it comes to our elections, when it comes to our local elections. And for Los Angeles, I'm very disappointed in y'all. I'm more disappointed in y'all for picking her than I am for Lori Lightfoot, and that's saying something. That's saying something. I'm more disappointed in y'all picking Karen Bass than Lori Lightfoot over in Chicago when she presided because she was the first gay woman over there in the city. No way y'all picked this woman to lead y'all. She is an idiot. An idiot. In every way of the word, I mean it the same way that I'm saying it. She is an idiot. And y'all really did rock with her. Y'all really do rock with her. I would never pick this woman. Ever. Ever. She don't even look like she can cook good. I'm not even sure what kind of use case we can use for her. You know how certain women that come over that's in the family, oh man, I can't wait to go and taste Aunt Mabel's banana pudding. Oh man. If I don't eat nothing but I'm eating dessert, banana pudding from Mabel? Mabel? She don't look like none of this. She don't look like any of our aunties that can cook. She don't look like none of that. Nothing. She looks like a dean. You know what? I'm going to be honest with y'all. She looks like a dean of students at a community college. If I had to profile her and they say, okay, I say, what's her name? Karen. So she has a white woman's name. And what's her last name? Bass. That's a weird one. Let me see her. And I look at her. Director of students, dean of students at a community college. It's no reason for y'all to ever elect a director of students at a community college to be mayor of Los Angeles, of the second largest city in the United States of America. She looks like a dean of a community college. I'm telling you that if I had to profile, I'm going to start profiling these people.
City, well, maybe we can do this.
Y'all
to
taking
other
bets
cities.
for how long my internet
That's
crash?
not true, what she's saying. The federal officials were, because you guys didn't want to help them. They asked for the assistance of the local cops there. The politicians said no. They said, we just want to get the criminal aliens who we have final deportation orders for some, and some of them have criminal offenses. We want to go get them. When they came to the city to do their job, your protesters decided that they were going to obstruct. Now they're trying to get into the prison as well. So don't give me this that they're trying to take over L.A. You guys can have L.A. But as it relates to the criminals in there that don't belong in this country, oh, yes, they are going to enforce federal law.
I just don't understand why they don't want help. Why wouldn't they want the National Guard there? Why wouldn't they want 700 U.S. Marines? Those police officers, last night when I was watching our coverage of it, I was like, this.
Your car says, so we can talk about people now. We can talk about politicians. We can talk about politicians. Can't talk about their families, but we can certainly talk about politicians. 100%. They are public servants. They work for us.
Not as huge. There aren't as many police officers as there are individuals that are rioting, and I was worried for their safety. Why wouldn't they want the help?
Right. You know why? Because they say that by putting the National Guard in there, they're making things worse. They also say they also have 35 minutes before the LAPD responded to ICE's request for reinforcements. That's why President Trump is not taking any more risks. And that's why he went to school in Seattle and Portland and Minneapolis and Kenosha. He saw that maybe he could have been acting a little quicker and was talked out of it in his first term. Then he watched these cities burn, and Joe Biden basically say no problem about that. They basically had what's coming to them, and that was not okay. So when Trump takes over, he's going to make sure that this will not happen, and he's going to make sure that the city will not be.
He got the record. He got the same recorder that I got on my motorcycle. He's recording himself. This is how you know that these people are stupid today. They're dummies. Because they basically creating evidence for themselves so that they can put it on social media. These people have bought $400 and $500 camera setups, attached it to themselves, and is recording themselves committing crimes so that the FBI and local law enforcement can find them on social media, because you know what's going to go viral, and then they can arrest them for destruction of property and assaulting a police officer. Look at these dummies. Look at these idiots. I love it. I love it. Welcome to America. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let me read a couple of super chats, and then we're going to continue on with the show. Said deport. Podcast. The podcast. That's an interesting name. What's good, brother? You have the best platform out here. Can you cover the incident that occurred last night in Vegas involving a YouTuber deleting someone on a live stream on After Hours? Yeah, let me write that down. Give me a second. I'm going to write some stuff down. We're going to cover a bevy of different topics. You know, I got to write stuff down, and I appreciate y'all for always being a co-host of what we got going on out here. Because y'all know that there's other platforms that be trying to bite off of what we do. Because guess what? Tuesdays is ours. Thursdays is ours. Fridays is ours. Matter of fact, Mondays is ours. Tuesdays is ours. Wednesdays is ours. Thursdays is ours. Fridays is ours. Saturdays is ours. I'm about to start live streaming on the Darth Anton channel. I'm going to start doing the IRL live stream on the Darth Anton channel. Saturdays is ours. Sundays is mine. It's all ours. It's all ours. All hours. They be biting. They stealing thumbnails. They stealing the episodes that's being posted on the thumbnails. They stealing everything. They ain't these copycat platforms don't have an original thought in their body, not in their bones. Not an original thought in their body. Chris Cunningham says there's a video of Gavin Newsom asking for help at the border in 24. Manuel AG says she out there looking for her third baby daddy. Number one son says she's out there seeking arrangements with some rioters, it appears. Resident D. That's a crazy name. Resident D. 1022 says there's a locator on NoKings.org that shows where all the protests are scheduled. Can somebody email me that? Because I don't want to have to write down everything. I need to go get my iPad so I can get my Apple Pencil. Somebody email that to me. Why Democratic women leaders always bald-headed? That is a thing. That is a thing. And it don't even be nice bald-headed. It be different. Nichelle says Gavin can forget that 2028 presidential run. Hey, didn't he start a podcast? He don't got no more episodes that he uploaded? They can't do what we do. Can't nobody do what we do because it's organic. And I say what I mean and I mean what I say. You can get all of the panelists. Let me tell you something. For all of the copycatters, first of all, you can't do what we do because you're not in my mind. And so you don't have the vision to be able to execute and then long term be able to do what you do, first of all. Secondly, y'all rob y'all people. Y'all don't even pay y'all people that be on y'all platforms. Third, this is something that we've built up over a period of time. You're not just going to pop up overnight and be able to do what I do. Fourth, innovators innovate. And so it don't matter how much you copy us or copy our format or copy my thumbnails or whatever. It's never going to be what I do because we do what we do. And fourth, that was fourth. Fifth, and this is the real thing, all right? This is the kicker. You'll never be able to get women as pretty as the women that's on After Hours, and that's a fact. You'll never be able to get women as gorgeous as we got. Such a bevy. We got caramel. We got light skin. We got dark chocolate. We got all of the women's, all of the beauty, all of the gorgeousness. And then we throw a little bit of Slimmy and Quentin in there in 2K. And then, I'm going to talk what I talk. You'll never be able to get a bevy of women as beautiful as we have. Not at all. Zero. And it's organic. You'll never be able to get it, ever. You can try. Them women be up there looking dusty. Women be dusty on these other platforms. Lips crusty. You never get the level of clavicles that we got. Never. Never. You never get the clavicles. I'm going to give me a snow bunny and it's going to be over. I'm going to give me a snow bunny and it's going to be over. It's going to be over. When I throw that snow bunny on there, like, now they going to start looking for snow. Wait, can we find a snow bunny somewhere? You don't know them. You don't know them. You can't find them because you don't know them in real life. You don't know them. You don't know them. All right. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. We got women that's pretty that read the Bible. We got women that's pretty that's artists. You said you had one last night? Nah, don't qualify to sit next to all of the women that we got on After Hours. Are y'all tapping into After Hours tonight? It's going to be lit, I promise you. Nah, we're not going to get the one from last night's show. That one was a little rough around the edges. Gonna get us a snow bunny. Snow. Let it snow. Ain't that what Boys to Men say? Let it snow. And Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Gavin Newsom is blaming Trump. So they do got the locations of what's going on. All right. Thank y'all for keeping me in the loop. Y'all keeping me in the loop. Gavin Newsom is blaming Trump for what is happening in Los Angeles, and I can't believe it. And so, of course, he went on MSNBC. I'm going to go ahead and deep dive into that interview. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Don't get any from nobody. Nah. Snow bunnies and nobody. They got briefcase butts. I don't know what that is. Straight down. Whoop. Whoop. And I don't mind a little bit of briefcase. I'm cool with a little bit of briefcase, but you got to do some squats or something. You got to work on that, baby girl. Let's get to it, y'all.
I'm inside the Emergency Operations Center run by the County of Los Angeles here with Governor Gavin Newsom. Governor, thanks for joining us live on MSNBC.
Good to be with you.
So this is, as I said...
Wait. What you mean they looted the Jordan store, Justin B? Well, they got some Team Jordans? What you mean looting the Jordan store? What they got some Team Jordan signed by Marcus Jordan? What's at the Jordan store in Los Angeles? Stop.
Emergency Operations Center. I wonder how you would characterize the events that are unfolding in Los Angeles right now. Is it an emergency? Is it Fox News is calling it the LA riots? Is it a peaceful protest? What's happening? What are you seeing?
Well, I mean, look, Donald Trump has created the conditions you see on your TV tonight. He's exacerbated the conditions. He's, lit the proverbial match. He's putting fuel on this fire ever since he announced he was taking over the National Guard. An illegal act, an immoral act, an unconstitutional act, and we're going to test that theory with a lawsuit tomorrow.
Well, I was going to ask you that. Sorry to interrupt you, but Governor, so that's news. If you're going to sue the administration, tell me a little bit about it. Give us a preview of this lawsuit.
Well, under his executive order, it specifically notes, and under what the DOD did, is they had to coordinate with the governor of the state. They never coordinate with the governor of the state. I've worked with the National Guard. We've deployed the National Guard. We did 3,000+ folks have been doing logistics work and fire recovery work, and they're fighting the fires, the rattlesnake teams. We did the same back in George Floyd. We have no problem working collaboratively in a mutual aid system with local law enforcement, but there's a protocol, there's a process. He didn't care about that. And the worst part, he completely lied. He said in a tweet that everything's now safe, everything's fine. Is that the case, Mr. Trump? He said because he deployed the National Guard. The Guard hadn't even been deployed when he said this. It's Orwellian. Simply lying to people. Unconstitutional, illegal act. His mess. We're trying to clean it up.
There are people that in this comments, because one of the things that I like to do is I like to go and read the comments so that I can understand what the sentiment is, because I'm always curious as to what liberals or Democrats are thinking and if they actually support this guy. There are people that actually looked at this interview and they said, man, Gavin Newsom, he really should be president of the United States of America. That's what they say. I said, what? Do y'all realize that he's run this entire state into the ground? He's run the state into the ground. Democrats are doing nothing. Nothing. Do you know what they did? They instructed the Los Angeles Police Department to stand down and to only prevent them from committing crimes and stuff like that. It wasn't until Trump came into place that he said, all right, listen, y'all, we got to start arresting these people. We got to identify the offenders, anybody that put their hands on an ICE officer, all of this stuff. There's no reason that these people should tear up businesses, all of that. Trump has got to be the governor of California. He got to be the mayor of California. I heard that Gavin Newsom, I can't tell y'all. I can't substantiate this, so this is nothing but speculation based off of my sources, okay? I heard from some really credible sources that when all of this went down, that Gavin Newsom was actually working on his next podcast episode. I can't confirm nor deny. It may absolutely be false. But what my sources are telling me, and I got some pretty good sources here, guys. What my sources are telling me is that when all of this started to go down, Gavin Newsom was preparing to record his next podcast episode. Now, I don't know how true that is. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's true. But all I can do is give you the news and let you know what's going on.
You're saying that the President of the United States has made the situation on the ground here in Los Angeles less safe. What do you know about immigration enforcement?
Brian the filmmaker says, AAD, do we need to RSVP for the meetup? No, you just got to pull up. You just got to pull up. Don't put the address out there, but we going to be on the rooftop. We going to take over, and we going to be having a good time. Shout out to D.C. End of the month, we going up. Well, not on a Tuesday. On a Saturday, we going up. You just got to pull up. Pull up. Have a good time. Bars going to be open. We just going to have a good time. We just going to take over. That's what we do.
Today, has there been any ICE raids in the city today? Are they coordinating with you on that at all? Are they giving you a heads up?
Of course they're not coordinating. That said, we were told in just a recent briefing just a few minutes ago there was small activity in the county and not in the city proper. But look, you made a point a moment ago. These images are unacceptable. These kids on the car, the folks that are taking advantage of this, these aren't peaceful protesters, a lot of these folks, a lot of great people out there doing the right thing. But you get these insurgent groups coming in, sort of these anarchists that are in there to create real problems. And they're just playing right into Donald Trump's hand. And they need to be called out. They need to be arrested. It is wrong to destroy other people's property, and it is wrong to create the conditions that only exacerbate this. But Donald Trump,
he said they need to be called out, not that they need to be arrested, not that they need to be prosecuted, not that they need to be held accountable. He said they need to be called out. Let me rewind it for y'all. And this is what a liberal mayor / governor is doing inside of California. Him and Karen Bass they're not trying to actually hold these people accountable. They just say, hey, call them out. Call them out. Just call them out.
and they need to be called out. They need to be arrested. It is wrong to destroy other people's property, and it is wrong to create the conditions that only exacerbate this. But Donald Trump, at the end of the day,
Trump's fault,
is the sponsor of these conditions.
Let me give you the opportunity. You mentioned that there are people out there causing mischief and mayhem. What's your message to those people who are out there tonight? Not the peaceful protesters that are out there protesting for the rights of immigrants, but for the people that are doing damage to buildings, to law enforcement out there.
Well, they're doing more than damage to buildings and to property. They're potentially damaging the very foundation of our republic. The democracy.
I'm glad that he admitted that this is a republic. Very few Democrats slip up and actually tell y'all that. They'll tell y'all that this is a democracy.
Is in the balance. I mean, you're seeing these authorities.
Frosty says, you're just talking. You don't know what's going out here in Cali. Man, fuck Cali. Give a fuck about Cali, that piece of shit state. You care nothing about dog. What you think? Y'all state is trash. Y'all operating at but I know more about your state than you. I know more about your state than you. I bet you don't even own no property out there in California. You can't even afford it. They didn't price you out. Black man. Black man. You think we care anything about your liberal piece of shit state? We don't care about y'all. We don't care about nothing y'all got going on. We think we should leave it to y'all. Leave y'all to yourselves. Let you eat your own. Let you eat your own. Give a fuck about your state. Man, you don't know nothing about Cali. You don't know what's going on out here. Shaking my head. Shut the fuck up. Give a fuck about no Cali. Grown ass men 40 and 50 years old still gang banging. Yo, say everything, y'all whole culture is a piece of shit. I'm going to be the one to tell you the truth. Everything in California is a piece of shit. Y'all don't even got Dr. Phil no more. Dr. Phil left y'all. They don't even film movies over there in California. Give a fuck about no California. If I never visit that side of the state, it's 49 other states that's doper than California. You don't even know nothing about Cali. I'm looking at it on the news. It's trash. I've been to Cali multiple different times. You know what I get when I'm walking down the street? Doo-doo on my shoes. Doo-doo on my shoes. All of your fucking entitlement programs and all of these stupid migrants, illegal migrants over here getting all of these free government programs, and y'all overtax Man, listen, don't come at me. Come at your governor. Come at your legislators. They always want to comment on the people that's talking about what's happening over there. You ain't got no smoke for Gavin Newsom. Go talk to Karen Bass. Go talk to your neighbors. Go talk to the people that's robbing people next door. Give a fuck about your punk ass city. Clean it up. Clean it up. You don't know nothing about Cali. You don't either. You don't own a piece of property, a piece of land in California. You ain't got a job to offer nobody. You ain't got an opportunity to give to nobody. That's why every time somebody that emerges from the smoke to actually do something, accomplish something, then y'all want to champion them as y'all next leader. That's why y'all sucking Kendrick dick so hard. Kendrick don't even be in Cali. He be staying in New York. You don't know nothing about Cali. You don't either. You don't either. You ain't been to the north side of the state. You ain't been to the southern side of the state. You from your neighborhood. You from your hood. That's it. Your hood that you don't own no property in. Cali. You don't know nothing about Cali. I know more about your state than you do. You don't even know your budget. I bet you ain't even vote. I bet you not even a registered voter. Can you vote? Can you even vote, or do you have a felony on your record? Because we know that most of the black people in California, they don't vote. Urban community in California, don't even worry about it. They're not going to the polls. Your fate going to be determined for you. You don't know nothing about Cali. You right. I don't want to know nothing about your punk ass state. Got to send a National Guard to stop y'all from destroying your own buildings. Y'all culture is trash.
Authoritarian tendencies now are being acted out by this administration. And we're case in point as it relates to nationalizing, federalizing the National Guard, threatening now to put in Marines. So I hope these people would pause and just consider. Now, some of them, they want that kind of chaos. Some ways.
They said Kendrick, look, check this out. Kendrick just won 5 BET Awards last night, my boy. Kendrick didn't even show up to the BET Awards. He don't even give a fuck about your black award. BET is not even owned by black people. It's called the Black Entertainment Network, and no black person has any equity into it. Who still watches BET? I probably got an award sitting over there at the BET Network. You know, the only person that make content for BET is Tyler Perry. And the only content the good content, he put that on Netflix. The stuff that he keep dressing in a dress for and that he keep on putting the sassy content for, he put that on BET Plus. You pay for that. You and your grandmama watch BET Plus. That's why they keep running Baby Boy reruns every other weekend. BET won 5 BET Awards. Shut the fuck up. You won't even know nothing about it. You don't know Kendrick wouldn't spit on you if you was on fire.
They're adjacent to where Donald Trump is. But the peaceful protesters, we want to keep them safe. We want them to exercise their fundamental rights. We want to keep those that are enforcing the laws in a respectful and responsible way also safe. But Donald Trump needs to pull back. He needs to stand down. Donald Trump is inflaming these conditions. This is Donald Trump's problem right now, and if he can't solve it, we will.
He continues to,
it's supposed to be your problem, and you need to solve it before he steps in. That's the way that it works. That's the chain of command. Mayor, governor, president.
He's hit you hard publicly. Just 10 minutes ago, he put out another Truth Social telling you and the mayor to apologize to the people of Los Angeles. You guys go at it pretty hard publicly, but I know you talk privately. Have you spoken in the last couple of days to the president about any of this?
Yeah, we talked for almost 20 minutes, and this issue never came up. I mean, I kept trying to talk about L.A. He wanted to talk about all these other issues. We had a very decent conversation.
When was this?
This was late Friday night, I think about 1:30 plus his time.
After the protests had started here?
After the protests, and he never once brought up the National Guard. He's a stone-cold liar. He said he did. Stone-cold liar. Never did. It was a very civil conversation. I've always wanted to approach engagement with the President of the United States in a respectful and responsible way. But there's no working with the President. There's only working for him. And I will never work for Donald Trump.
Did you mention at all to him in that phone call on Friday night, the types of raids that were happening in your state on Friday? You know, there are reports that and video of enforcement operations happening in ways that they haven't traditionally. ICE officers going to Home Depots around Los Angeles and picking off day laborers. Did you bring that up with him?
The conversation started with the frame of what's happening in L.A. He immediately pivoted to other interests and other things.
Do you think he was aware of what was happening in Los Angeles?
I think I'm more than aware. And obviously, he was setting this up to take these additional steps.
This was a setup.
And I'm not saying he was setting things up. I'm not saying it was a setup. But clearly, they were in the process of moving to these next steps because out of nowhere, just a few hours after that conversation, he moves to pull the trigger under this construct under Title 10 and then created and exacerbated the conditions that are persisting today.
He just be talking. He marketing himself. Shout out to Gavin Newsom for marketing himself.
Authority normally to deploy the National Guard here. Right. You did it. We were together after the fires, and those National Guard troops have been out all across Los Angeles working to rebuild and recover this city. How did you find out that the President of the United States was going to usurp your authority and deploy your National Guard here in California?
I got a call from a staffer. No heads up whatsoever. And again, we're here to support local law enforcement. There's a mutual aid process. Local law enforcement had no needs. They were not requesting any additional resources. I've got 100 now. I have 175 CHP officers, technically trained officers, tactical teams to address Donald Trump's mess. We are here to support local law enforcement, the sheriff's office, LAPD, but they didn't need that support.
Meanwhile, they rioting, they looting, they tearing up Apple stores, they breaking into the Adidas store, they breaking into CVS and stealing all of the stuff. They destroying cop cars. Waymo is practically out of business. Can't nobody catch a Waymo no more. Everything is just completely out of order and in chaos in Los Angeles. But we don't need no help. They got it. I'm caught in between two perspectives right now. Because on one hand, you know, I know that this is the United States of America, and unfortunately, Trump, like a good parent, has to govern everybody, even though they didn't vote for him, even though they got a completely, just like a bad kid, and they don't even know what's best for themselves. And so Trump got to step in. But on the other hand, I'm thinking to myself, maybe we should just leave them to themselves. Why won't we allow for them to govern themselves, considering that apparently they think that they know what's best for themselves? So I'm torn. I'm a little bit torn. However, make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Again, I want to remind you guys that we got after hours tonight, and it's going to be popping. It's going to absolutely hit, and so that should be fun. It should be fun. It should be fun. Let me read a few of these super chats, and then we're going to continue on with the show. Shout out to Simp, 50% Simp, says, I got a super sticker. Thank you for the super sticker, my friend. I appreciate you. Courtney Egger Show says, I got to ask, AD, what do you think about the show? I think it's good. You want me to give you all of my criticisms right now? I think it's cool, though. I think you wanted something. Shout out to Courtney Egger. AD, we celebrating the haters on the stream now? Absolutely. They money matters too. They views matter too. They subscriptions matter also, just as much as everybody else's. Conflict Corner says, if you put a snow bunny on a show, it's going to be like when Netflix did their version of Pop the Balloon. Nope, that's not true. That's not true. See, you don't understand the producer in me. Before I'm ever a content creator, I put together content and I produce it effectively. Wait, so y'all been begging for snow bunnies for so long? That's the thing that I see in my chat all the time. No, snow bunnies are good and they're best for the community, and we love them as black men, and we don't just pick the big ones, we pick all of the snow bunnies. I see y'all advocating for snow bunnies all the time, and now y'all scared of snow bunnies? Okay, so y'all let me know in the chat. Do y'all want snow bunnies or do you not want snow bunnies? While everyone is rioting, we up on SPY. Shout out to the people that's following the S&P 500 and then continue to run it up. Jay Game says, riders are maximum idiots, not medium. Mr. Lot in the building. Shout out to Mr. Lot. Salute to the Chasers. Can't wait to see and meet y'all later this month. I'm pulling up all linen and buying drinks. He said he got his linen on. Shout out to Mr. Lot with the 50 ball. Just joined the Patreon last week, big dog, and I'm in South Carolina National Guard. Bag chasers, we up. We up. Brown Eyes in the building says, I live in Cali. It's a piece of since Gavin took over. See, even the people in Cali is telling me. Rod Reed says, what up, though? The people in Cali was trying to move to Texas. I don't know if y'all remember that in Vegas. They was trying to move to Texas and Vegas. Turtle Island says, Gavin, the deflectionist, no accountability ever. My dog, Tassie, in the building. Shout out to call me Tazzy. Says, looking forward to meeting up in DC, big dog. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to my dog, call me Tazzy. I love you, bro, and you've always been a long-time supporter of the show. Mr. Joe says, Demon Crat Strategy 101, when in trouble, just blame Trump. And this is why they're not ever going to get into major power in the federal government ever again. Make sure I hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel. They want a snow hip-hop bunny? Oh. Gotta put a cultured bunny. No. No. That's not what I'm looking for. If I put a snow bunny on the show, she gonna have to be real. Like, I want the whitest of the white snow bunnies. I want a snow bunny, pure white snow bunny. The one that went to a PWI, that was busting it down for a real one. That could speak to the nature of how she want to be around all black men all the time, but she tolerate white men. I want a snow bunny that is bunnying all the way to it. I don't want no snow bunny that's trying to be like black women. I want a snow bunny that's trying to be all like white women. I want a snow bunny that thought about doing OnlyFans, but instead she did it a little bit differently. I want the snowest of the snow bunnies. I want snow bunnies that I don't want no regular just because she white on the outside, but she black on the inside. I don't want that type of snow bunny. I want the snow bunny that went to the frat parties. I want a snow bunny that went to the frat parties. 100% not stepped on, pure as the driven white snow from the mountains of Caucasus. I want an Abercrombie bunny. I don't want one that's cultured, that's trying to fit in. I don't need all of that. Are you talking about the Starbucks pumpkin latte white woman? Facts. That's what I want. I want a Zara bunny. That's a fact, Chuck. I want a Zara bunny. I want all of that extra snow. I don't want one that played and went and slummed it out. I don't want that type of snow bunny. That be doing the pop the fan. I don't want that snow bunny. I want the one that look at the pop the fan and be like, what are you guys doing here? What? I want Alaska Cruise snow bunny, not Carnival snow bunny. All right. That's correct. Untainted. Do I talk crazy or do I say what is on everybody else's mind? I don't talk crazy. You just not used to hearing it out loud because you're so used to everybody telling you what you want to hear and trying to say it correctly and making sure that sponsors are not going anywhere. I don't care. I'm going to say it the way that I see it and see it the way that I say it. All right. Y'all ready? Y'all ready to get back to the show? All right, make sure I hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Sage, let me tell you something, big dog. Who was there? Jerry? Jerry, you was there, right? Jerry, we was at the conservative ball, and I was waiting on my coat, and Sage says, oh my God, I've seen your content before. How are you? I said, what's going on, Sage? I said, I see you just started your new platform. You had, I believe she had Dave Portnoy on it. I said, I loved your interview with Dave Portnoy. And so we sat there and we talked. The line was long to get your coat. We sat there and we talked for about a good 20 minutes. And she was tall, pretty, had gorgeous teeth. I said, we might have to get us a sage. You know me, I'ma just call it like I see it. I see it. You know who else was bad as hell there? Let me tell you something else. You know who else was bad? Danny C. Yep, Danny from Jerry was pretty. It was a lot of pretty girls. It's a lot of very pretty conservative women with the right mindset. Danny, I think her name is Danny C. from Chicago. She the protester from Chicago, flips red over there in Chicago. I said, shit. Let me get from out of here and go over to VIP. Go to VIP over here as we have a conversation. But Sage, she was real cool. Really, really cool. Talked to her for about 15, 20 minutes. And she had the right perspective. She definitely had the right perspective. But Sage decided that she wanted to join in on the conversation when it came to Simone Biles and Riley Gaines. Now, to bring you guys up to speed, this was after Trump had won the election, and then we flew to Washington, D.C. for the inauguration and stuff like that. So this was in January? Yeah, January. And D.C. was lit. We was getting it in. And Simone decided that she wanted to be on the same page as Trent. So it's so weird because I never anticipated in 2025 for Simone Biles to use her platform, who I was a Simone Biles supporter, you know. I thought that the women unjustifiably tried to throw her under the bus when she said, when her husband was on the Pivot podcast and he was saying about how it is that they got together and why they so good together. And I was like, yo, y'all leave Simone alone. Simone is doing her thing. She supports her husband. She's a loving woman, but never in 1,000 years did I think that Simone Biles would be the one to be at the forefront of trying to convince women that men, biologically born men, need to be playing in trans in women's sports. Didn't see it on my bingo card, but here's Sage Steele on Newsmax speaking specifically about Simone Biles. Here's what they had to say.
It's a very easy subject for Simone Biles to support, trans in sports, right? It's very easy for her because
y'all think that Simone Biles has been bought and paid for? I wouldn't doubt it.
she is in one of very few women's sports where biological men really aren't able to destroy her dreams personally. Simone Biles is about 3 feet tall, right? And that's an asset in what she does. She competes in games where being very, very small is of a huge advantage to her. So not many guys are going to come in and rock her world. Biological men, right? Riley Gaines, on the other hand, is a swimmer, where men can dominate women due to upper body strength and arm span and all these things that we know, bigger shoulders, things like that. And with that, we're going to bring in our friend Sage Steele to talk more about this. Sage, good to see you. Biles posting further that bully someone your own size, which would ironically be a man. Simone had such a wonderful reputation. She's getting really nasty here. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, first of all, I was shocked, Rob. I was out at dinner Friday night when this post came out, and I actually waited to respond because I thought there is no way that this was from Simone Biles.
I said the same thing.
Definitely got her account hacked, right? This has been nothing like the Simone Biles that we've seen, that many people forgave for allegedly quitting on the 2021 Olympic team, and of course dealt with mental health, very supportive of that, and then became America's sweetheart again in these last Olympics. This is shocking behavior to me from her, but now I'm like, okay, this must be who she was all the time. But just like Megan Rapinoe, let's just wait to the end of our careers when we have become the most decorated gymnast in Olympic history, period, when we got all of our flowers, and now we're going to come out and say, hey, I would have been fine competing against the boys. She's done a complete 180, and in doing so, by attacking someone else that is standing there fighting for women's rights and girls' rights and equality and to keep women's spaces safe from men, I just want to know why. Interestingly, she has been completely silent on social media since this post late Friday night. I'm waiting to see how and when she resurfaces because she has gotten crushed and deservedly so.
But she hasn't taken the post down either, right? And this is what we on the content creation community call a chameleon. This is what we call a chameleon. A person that has benefited from keeping their image clean, keeping their mouth shut, getting all to the money, and making sure that their talent is sufficient in order for them to be successful. And let's be clear, there's nothing that you can take from Simone Biles as far as her talent and her being one of the most decorated gymnasts of all time and being the face of gymnasts in the United States of America. She's incredible. Nobody could ever take that away from her. But the other side of the conversation is this is what we call being a chameleon. A chameleon is somebody that leads you to believe one thing, but on the inside and silently, they're a whole nother thing, living a whole nother life with a whole nother philosophy. And this is why I don't just rock with people just based off of the color of their skin. I got to know what you stand for, unless you never actually share that type of information. And so some people in the chat is saying, well, I said Stephen A. takes is terrible. All right, we'll review that tomorrow. If y'all want me to review that tomorrow, let me know. But I just can't. I can't unless you sell me otherwise, which I don't understand why people start to get involved in these social issues when all they got to do is enjoy their husband, sit back, collect a check. Some people are saying that she's being paid to do this. I can't imagine why she would just jump out there on the ledge and participate in this conversation. But she's so wrong. Like, you can't pick a worse issue to be wrong about. Some issues you can say, well, I can understand it because we got to take into account what you've done in your past or how you was raised and all of this stuff. If somebody says, Anton, I'm a Democrat, on the surface by itself, I can't just say you're wrong because we all have different philosophies, different ways that we grew up, things that we were taught, belief systems, all of that, right? But once I start to deep dive and I start to ask some questions, well, how do you feel about this issue? And why did you turn Democrat? Or is this something that was taught to you? That's something that we got to explore. This is not an issue that we should be divided against. There should not be any biologically born men in women's sports. And for the women that advocate for it, I just have to question your integrity or question what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Why do you believe in men playing women's sports to compete against you? It's dumb. It's dumb. This isn't a lifestyle thing. This is a cultural phenomenon that's taken over. And for some reason, these people is just on the wrong side of the fence. I just don't get it, man. I don't understand. Some things, again, and I say it regularly, some things should not be a divisive issue. Even if you're gay, it doesn't mean that you support men playing in women's sports. I could believe in patriarchy, but it doesn't mean that I don't support women and the fact that they do some phenomenal things that men should not be a part of.
It's amazing how this only goes one way. There are no women trying to go play men's sports because we know the difference. This is science, not opinion. These people are crazy. Simone now at the top of the list.
You certainly do notice that, right? It only goes one way, and that's the whole point. I saw this. I watched the French this weekend, the French Open. I saw some amazing tennis. Really, Sunday's match was unbelievable. But on Saturday, you had Coco Gauff, who took down Sabalenka, who Sabalenka didn't play very well, and she made that very clear. That's how she felt. So Coco Gauff gets this big win. It's a huge thing for American sports, obviously. And she decides to get up there. She's very young. But, of course, she had to take some kind of a political jab at the Trump administration. Take a listen to this.
You know, obviously there's a lot going on in our country right now with things like everything. Yeah, I'm sure you guys know. But just to be able to be a representation of that, and a representation of, I guess, people that look like me in America who maybe don't feel as supported during this time period. And so just being that reflection of hope and light for those people. And I remember, you know, after the election, everything, it was a kind of felt down period.
What are your thoughts on that?
It's exhausting. I know she's young, she's 21, but these talking points that they dangle in front of these kids and adults, and they just take them on wholeheartedly, it's just so disappointing. I'd like to have the conversation, though, with young Coco, as well as anyone else who'd be willing to sit and talk. What are those things that she began to say, I'm sure you know. No, give me one. Tell me how you feel less safe. Tell me what it's like for us or people like you who look a certain way, apparently have a certain skin color, where there is fear and where the opportunities aren't equal to anyone else. Stop it. It is such low-hanging fruit. But you know what? People like Coco are the ones that believed the White House that Biden was fine for all these years and believed that Kamala Harris was the person for us. So stop with the pandering. Honestly, I think it's okay, though. It doesn't surprise me. And at this point, people just roll their eyes. And it's unfortunate because she's an incredible talent. And
So let me actually shout out to your car for sending this to me. Let me actually show what her latest, because she didn't delete the stuff that happened before that, but what her latest tweet is, all right? So this is what her latest tweet is. She says, I wanted to follow up from my last tweets, which, if you want to see what the last tweets were, it's the one where she was saying that Riley Gaines was truly sick and, bully somebody your own size, so on and so forth. So we covered that yesterday, all right? She says, I wanted to follow up from my last tweets. I've always believed competitive equity and inclusivity are both essential in sport. The current system doesn't adequately balance these important principles, which often leads to frustration and heated exchanges. And it didn't help for me to get personal with Riley, which I apologize for. These are sensitive, complicated issues that I truly don't have the answers or solutions to, but I believe it starts with empathy and respect. I was not advocating for policies that compromise fairness in women's sports. My objection is to be singling out children for public scrutiny in ways that feel personal and harmful. Individual athletes, especially kids, should never be the focus of criticism of a flawed system they have no control over. I believe sports organizations have a responsibility to come up with rules supporting inclusion while maintaining fair competition. We all want a future for sport that is fair, inclusive, and respectful. Simone. Wow. Okay, so let me break this down. I actually support Simone's apology. The same way that you came at somebody, if you then realize that you were wrong because people are holding you accountable, to publicly apologize is a good thing. And I believe that Riley Gaines and her support, which she didn't realize that there was a lot of support for Riley Gaines, probably helped contribute to this realization that she's not as smart as she thought she was. So I have to give her a little bit of credit on that. I got to give credit if we're being objective. And I also want to say that I think that she's absolutely positively wrong, in which it is not the sports organization's responsibility in order for people who's changed what they look like, yet they still they still are biologically born a male. It is not the responsibility of sports organizations to make other people feel included. Two things is true at the same time. I respect, it probably was her sponsors that was making her apologize. And I don't even think that she wrote this. This looks like it was written from somebody else and then ran into ChatGPT to make it sound more empathetic. Don't worry about it. We're going to talk about it in a minute. But this does not look like it was written by Simone Biles. However, I respect her publicly issuing the apology, but she's still wrong. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let me read some of the super chats, and then we're going to go over to the next part of the show. No, I'm not doing that. Not publicly. I love you, big dog. I'll send you a message. In the state of California, as a felon, you can vote after the end of your judicial obligation. If you want me to criticize you publicly, then that means that I'm going to put you up on a big screen, big dog. Mr. Law says you got to find her in Birmingham, Michigan, or Troy. No, Nah, in Troy, it's a lot of Indians in Troy. You may find her in Birmingham. Mr. Joe says Sage Steele is fine. Yeah, she look even better in person. And she's so tall, too. Greg Charlie says, I'm trying to go see the Lions play in LA this December. I hope they clean that up soon. I'm sure you'll be able to see it. The NFL ain't missing out on no money. Turtle says, Simone is acting like a transformer, won't steal her and other women records. Let me see something. Courtney, why you don't drop more regular videos, bro? You stream pretty regularly. It seems like you stream maybe twice a week. And you stream for about 2 hours. Let's go to the videos. Last video you dropped was 1 day ago, but after that, it was 1 month ago. Before you even get into the videos, you got to say your consistency. You got to consistently drop videos, bro. Like on a regular basis. You can't just drop them when you want to drop them.
Listen, fam. Content creation is going to be the biggest reason, or if not one of the.
You got your video at 7 minutes and 31 seconds. You want to make all of your videos at least 8 minutes long. You want to make all of your videos at least 8 minutes long, minimum, unless you're doing a short. If you're going to do a short, then you want to keep it under 3 minutes.
Biggest reasons that I become successful. And I'm talking successful financially. The fame and shit, cool. If I become famous off of this, that's cool too, right? But the money, oh, for sure is going to be because of content creation. And here's the thing. I'm learning from different people how to be better when it comes to content creation. That's why the guys that are around me, I tell them constantly.
Are you using your phone camera?
I don't care what you think. I don't care about you being a perfectionist. I don't care about if the shit gonna be trash.
Yeah, you need to drop more videos like this. But drop more videos actually out and about. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to just do it in your car. You want to catch the different scenery. You want to do it in a city. You want to do it with the lighting on you. All of that stuff, right? And you want to listen. You want me to be honest with you, bro? I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I tell people to ramp up when it comes to their content creation journey and all of this stuff. But I'm gonna be real, bro. This is Courtney Egger. So let me show y'all the channel real quick. All right. This is the channel right here. Courtney Egger Show right here. All right. Here's the thing, big dog. If you want to be great, it's not even about live streams. It's dropping videos every day. The live streams is supplementary, right? You got to drop videos. You got to drop 8+ minute videos, between 8 and 15-minute videos, actually talking about stuff that's really meaningful, that captures the essence of who you are, while at the same time speaking to whatever it is, whatever subject is that you're passionate about. But it's got to be you. And this is the reason why is because a lot of people focus a lot on subscribers instead of gaining an audience and letting the audience actually, you know what I'm saying, realize who they are. You got to give people a reason to buy into you. You got to give people a reason to go rock with you. You got to give people, and I think that you're doing a really good job. You're doing a phenomenal job, but you're not dropping, right? You got to drop every fucking day. Every day you need to be recording and putting out content and evolving and growing and showing who you are. And you're never going to be able to predict the video that goes viral, because I'm telling you, it's going to be the one that you least expect. It's going to be a month after you drop the video, and all of a sudden you're going to start seeing numbers go crazy. You'll never be able to predict which video goes viral. But if you're not putting out content, if you're not putting out, and I ain't talking about just putting out content, I'm talking about putting out meaningful content every day. If this is the thing that you want to do, if you actually believe in what you're saying on this live stream or on the video that you drop, you're going to have to drop it every single day. Carve out an hour or two out of your time every day and go and cook that shit and update it and drop it every day. Have you noticed I don't miss? Have you noticed I don't miss? I don't miss. I don't miss, bro. I never miss. The one thing that you can bank on, you know why I keep Saturdays open? Just in case I have an emergency come up during the week so that I can do a makeup show on Saturday. I don't miss. I don't miss. Ever. Ever. Everything is around that. Oh, Anton, I want you to stay home and lay in the bed with me. I know you do, but I'll be back later on today. Oh, Anton, you coming out to this party? Yeah. I'll see if I can make it, but I actually probably not going to make it because I got a live stream on Friday night. It's 1,000 things that I get invited to regularly every single Thursday, Friday night. Hey, it's this event. Is this happening? I'm going to come, but what time we going to be done? Don't matter. Your desire for success is going to it's going to have to be a lot greater than your desire to do whatever it is that you do and got going on out of there. Corporate America, back burner. And I'm not saying don't get your job. Do your job, but then come and you cook up. You work. You work. For 2 years straight on the Anton Daniels channel, every single morning I dropped a video. I would be out somewhere. I would be on a rooftop. I would be out in the streets. I would be every single morning, 6 a.m., 7 a.m., I'm waking up and I'm going to record a video. And that's going to be the first video that I dropped every single day. And until I started transitioning, and then I moved it over to the Darth Anton channel. Every single morning I would be out and recording on the bus, something. You have to work. You got to work. You got to outwork your competition. Because people like me don't sleep. How you going to compete with people like me if I don't sleep? I don't miss. I don't miss. If I get sleepy, I don't go home and take a nap. I set up a bit. See this? You see that couch over there? Right there? When I got to take a nap, you see all them cameras over there? You see that desk over there? You see that standing table with the walking? I'm gonna just walk and work. I got a standing table right there. I got the couch, the futon, I lay all the way back. I got the desk where I'm working. I got multiple different places that I work at over there. I'm hustling. I'm hustling. Everything over here is hustling. Everything in here is set up for me to be comfortable so I can create the best content ever. That's what it's for. It's for me to create the best content ever. How you gonna compete with me? How you gonna compete with me? If you're too lazy to go out and create a video, don't even talk to me. Oh, we got the black couch over there too. I just ain't show that one. You gotta hustle. You gotta hustle. You gotta hustle. You gotta go get that shit. You can't wait for nobody to do it for you. You can't do none of that. You gotta go and get it. That's why I come into the studio. It's because I could sit at home and do recordings. On Fridays, I usually do a live stream at the crib and stuff like that. On Fridays, I sit back and I work from home and stuff. Man, when I Anton, why you coming to? Because I'm working. I use this whole studio, this whole setup. Everything in here is designed for me to be as efficient and to have the best work and to have the best whatever. I'm working. Y'all want to see what y'all want to know where the casting couch is? Here, let me show you the casting couch. That's the casting couch right there. Oh man. That's the casting couch. That's the famous black couch right there. All right. Hey, come on in. Take a seat right there. I'll be right with you. No. I'll be right with you. Lock the door behind you. Sit right there. I'll be right with you. Okay? Okay. But there you go. So you wanted me to evaluate your stuff online, and I evaluated it. What else we got? Y'all want to go into one more subject before we get up out of here? We still got time. Y'all wanted to see the black couch. There it is. It's the black couch right there. Don't say I ain't never gave you no free information. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Tiege Hanley, 40% on the first order, 20%. 20% off of life. I got pillows up there and everything for you to get comfortable. You don't believe me? These are good pillows too. Yeah, these are good pillows. Right here. Lay your head on my pillow. And just relax. You ain't got to come back to my place. We got a pillow right here for you to lay down at. Pillows is also black. Let's go. We got everything. I got the book collection. We got everything you need right here. Everything you need is right here for you to be able to enjoy yourself and get comfortable. All right? Just lay down. Take a nap for a second. My last 15 minutes for break is arriving. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get to the next thing. We got one more thing that we're going to cover before we get up out of here. AI. I've been wanting to have a lot of conversations about AI. What up, Strictly? I've been wanting bread and butter. Thanks for tuning in. I've been wanting to keep a lot of conversation and pedal to the metal about AI. And there's a reason that is. And I got a live stream that I'm planning on doing tomorrow inside of the Patreon. So make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. I'm really trying to push y'all very much to get involved, because even though it is controversial, even though I do understand that it may be the end of us and there may be some AI robots that we got to fight in the future, or maybe your kids going to have to fight some AI robots in the future, I do want you guys to understand that it's not slowing down just because you don't necessarily agree with it. So we need to have a footprint in it. We need to be continuing to push ourselves. We need to be evolving our skill set to get involved and get the jobs that ultimately they are hiring for, or leveraging it for our business or our content, whatever it is that we do. We need to understand that AI is here to stay. And I know it's some people that think that it's not, that it's going, oh man, I've seen people in my comments saying, yeah, AI, this fad is going to come and go, and I'm going to still do what it is that I do. It's not going nowhere. It's not going anywhere. I promise you. It's not going anywhere. It is here to stay. Mark Zuckerberg is now speaking openly about his push into AI and how they are hiring and they are relentless in their desire to continue to have an impact on what goes on the AI front. All right, this is what's happening. These are the latest reports. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's get to it, y'all.
Mark Zuckerberg reportedly making a new push to try and achieve artificial general intelligence. Bloomberg says that the Meta CEO has been frustrated with his company's progress in the AI race so far and is putting together what's being called a super intelligence group inside Meta. The report says that Zuckerberg's goal is to beat other tech companies to reaching the point where AI can perform as well as humans do so that it can incorporate the technology into its range of products. According to reports over the last few days, Meta is in talks to invest billions of dollars in an AI startup, Scale AI. Bloomberg says that Zuckerberg is personally working to recruit dozens of people for Meta's new effort, driven by frustration over the response to the latest version of the company's Llama large language model. It's very similar to what we've heard from Sergey Brin, getting kind of reinvigorated by this a couple of years ago, actually, and building up and spending a lot, running that team himself. AI is definitely the thing that has all these original coders super excited, super competitive about, and Zuckerberg's apparently moving desks in the office so that all of these people can sit right by him.
Well, hurry up. It'll be interesting to see. It seems quantum. Like we made that quantum leap, and now we're really moving quickly. We'll see.
Let's go over to Bloomberg really quickly, and then I'm going to give you all my thoughts on Mark Zuckerberg's $1 billion+ investment to find the best people he can to help him traverse and then to get ahead when it comes to competition, when it comes to AI.
Not exactly a household name. What does Scale AI do, and how significant is the investment?
Yeah, absolutely. Few people have heard outside of the world of technology and AI, of course, of this company, but it has grown in prominence. And now, of course, it's making headlines with this potential investment, $10 billion from Meta. As you say, one of the biggest private sector investments that we would have seen for years.
We are invested in Meta. We heavily invested in Meta on Stock Club. We love Meta. It has been a phenomenal company, and the return on investment has been incredible. So if you're not a part of Stock Club, if you're not a part of the Patreon, link is in the description, as well as pinned to the top of the chat. We got the AI talk, and then we got Stock Club coming up shortly after that.
So Scale AI, it focuses on one of the three key components that you need to build out large language models, which is data. So you have energy, chips, and data. Those are the three main components that come together. And Scale AI is squarely focused on data. So they train up, or at least they build out quality data that these models then feed in to train on. And they hire PhDs and others to help work through that data. And
why do y'all think that Elon Musk bought Twitter, formerly known as X? The marketing push or the narrative and the spin on it was, well, they're buying it because they believe in free speech, or they want to remove censorship from social media, and they want to have a hand in these social media pushes in order to compete, and so on and so forth. And X, formerly known as Twitter, had never been profitable, not 1 year of profitability prior to Elon Musk buying it. Why do you got correct, Jesse? It's all about data, scraping data and years and decades worth of data in order to train their AI models up, and more importantly, to have an impact, because there's nothing more important than the data. You can create the models, but if you don't have the data to be able to train it up, then what use is it? So for two reasons. Number one, the valuation of X is now whatever it is that he says that it is, based off of private equity. And then he could, as long as he can convince the investors and the other bankers and the people that are participating in X, formerly known as Twitter, of their valuation, then he was able to take it private. And then obviously he was able to spin that off and draw. I don't know what he's doing with it, because you don't have to drop any reports on it, because it's no longer a publicly traded company. But the value of it has been more than what he paid for it, and so he was okay with overpaying for it. But more importantly, it gave him a platform to create and voice his opinions, while at the same time training up AI data models so that they can also leverage that information and that data to continue to be successful. That's where he created Grok. A lot of people may not even be familiar with Grok. Grok is the model that they're using now, and it's being tested and used on a regular basis on X, formerly known as Twitter. It's the same thing when it came to Tesla, right? And the users, this is why people were so valuable to Elon Musk. When you talk about self-driving and, you know, all of these different things and these subscription models that he's rolling out and how they're able to see the road, you driving your Tesla, when you sign your agreement, when you agree to it, which is actually a good thing because it improves the usability of the product itself and it helps to improve the product. Elon Musk did away with LiDAR. He did away with most of these things. And as cameras continue to improve, what he did was he leveraged the data that Tesla would use in driving millions of miles through the people and all of the camera work in order to continue to map cities, in order to train up his model, the data that's being used for self-driving, assisted driving, self-driving, full capability. And this is how they continue to grow. It's scaling. They need the people, and the people are the ones that ultimately train up the models. And so the more that we participate on social media, the more that we use certain platforms, the more that we leverage the information. The reason why Meta is so valuable is because of the data. It's not just the users. The users are the ones that create the data that ultimately train up the models. Meta, Instagram. I don't even fuck with Facebook no more. I don't even mess with Instagram. I recently crossed, it's so funny. I recently crossed 100,000 followers on Instagram. I don't even post on Instagram anymore because they don't pay nothing. You know me, I'm all about a bag, so I got to get the bag first. I don't even post on it. It makes no sense. Why would I continue it? I get a whole lot of engagement. There's no point. The thing that unless they start paying, then I'm gonna post pictures of how fresh I am and what cars I buy probably in the future. But now that I've scaled up the users and it's just continuing to grow on its own, it's no point for me to even really take the platform seriously. I've been divested from Facebook. But as far as Instagram is just a way for people to communicate with me and get in touch with me outside of email. That's the way I look at it. And then I'll post some pictures here and there. But doesn't even mean anything to me anymore. If you guys want to follow me on different social media platforms, all of those is in the description, but let's continue into this.
Quantify it and tag it. So that's essentially the business model. They've also providing their own solutions into enterprise and have been pushing into defense as well. And I think what this deal tells us is a few things. One, Meta, of course, and Mark Zuckerberg is not going anywhere in terms of its investments around AI. They've pledged to invest at least $60 billion this year and $10 billion now for Scale AI, if this, of course, comes to pass. So Meta is full bore on the focus on AI, particularly as well.
Of course, Meta owns Instagram. Look, he called me an idiot, and I'm the person that has made more money than ever before. The only reason that I'm not going to go in on you, Jimmy, is because you got a profile picture. So I'm giving more grace to people in their profile pictures. But they got the nerve to call me an idiot. I'm an investor. I'm on the investor calls on a regular basis. I teach this inside of the Patreon. Of course, I'm familiar with who owns. You must be new here. I'm gonna give you grace. Usually, when I take my glasses off, it's gonna go left. But I'm gonna give you grace today. Shout out to Jimmy. First and last warning for my snow hairs.
Around data. It's a reminder that data is becoming a key battleground because along with energy and chips, getting hold of...
I'm going to assume that he meant that for somebody else.
The data, quality data, is becoming increasingly difficult for these large language models, and so there is a fight on that spectrum as well. And then the third part of this, I think, in terms of what it tells us, is defense technology. Meta is increasingly working with the Pentagon, particularly for around things like virtual helmets and AI-infused helmets for the military. And Scale AI already has relationships with the Pentagon. So I think it's also a reminder that Meta is getting closer in terms of defense technology as well. So on all three levels, I think those are the significance in terms of the deals that came through. This company, Scale AI, was valued at $14 billion back in 2024. You can imagine that valuation is much higher now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also we've got London Tech Week kicking off today. What's top of the agenda?
Well, I was talking about data and energy and chips. Well, chips will be front and center because Jensen Huang of NVIDIA will be giving the keynote speech at London Tech Week later this morning alongside the Prime.
A lot of people keep hoping that AI dies. No, it's not going anywhere. I've seen lawnmowers that are self-controlled based off of AI, and they cutting perfect lines in the grass. They don't even need people. It don't even need people. I've seen lawnmowers cutting perfect lines in the grass that don't even need people. Based off of AI. Man, listen. I've been working with people, and we've been working through these different solutions and prompts and all of this stuff, and I can't wait to live stream with y'all because this is going to be completely new for the Bag Chasers and the Patreon, and I wanted to kind of sort of master it before I started to share it with you guys, and I pay all of the money so that you don't have to, and I do all of the crash out so you don't have to. But I will tell you that there has been people that were skeptical. I introduced them to AI, and what is this? I don't know what to do. Oh my God, or whatever. 2 months later, obsessed with it. Has streamlined their work stream probably by, they were probably by about 1,000%. The thing that it would take them all day to do, it probably takes them less than 30 minutes, less than 40 minutes. And their colleagues are getting left in the dust. Their colleagues is getting left in the dust. It's real. People that embrace it, they can't put it down. I use it extensively in a lot of my workflows, and it's absolutely 100% here to stay. I know you think that it's not a real thing. I'm just warning you. It's still early. It's still incredibly early. Most people just look at it as a talking point. Most people don't even look at it as a real thing. It's still early, and it's still very, very early for you guys to be able to get on that and be a part of it. But I personally believe that it's going to be a major good thing, a really good thing for those that embrace it, and it's going to be incredibly disruptive for those that don't. It has come such a long way. Make sure you guys hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel with your notifications. Let me read some of the super chats, and then I'm going to get y'all up out of here for the day. I've been giving y'all all this good content. Courtney Yeager says, I'm listening and I appreciate you. Fact. Shout out to you, big dog. Elevate to the Unknown says, watching my boy AD while eating a bowl of ramen. Looking like I'm broke, but I've been rocking with the Bag Chasers and I'm rich. Shout out to Elevate to the Unknown. You've been getting to this money for a long time, big dog. I know who you are. Yeah. Even went through the rebrand. 392Q says, Anton, the type to say, lay down on that couch. We both gonna have to take a load off. We gonna get there. Y'all think y'all know how I talk. I'm switching up my language. I'm about to change and talk completely different now. Carrington says, all respect to content creators, but it saddens me how many black men aspire to be in arts, crafts, and entertainment. They have big dreams. I'm here in blue collar, 40K, too sexy for 40K a month, too sexy for my shirt. Yeah, I think that there needs to be a balance. There needs to be a balance. But, you know, I mean, in a way, we kind of like the new rappers. You know what I'm saying? We the new everything. So, yeah. Tia Marie. What up, Tia? Tia Marie says, this was a huge part of the expansion of emoji sentiment analysis. Fine-tunes data, and we contribute to this daily. PS, keep being great, AD. Thank you, Tia, and I love you, and I appreciate you for looking out for me and holding me down. After Hours is tonight. After Hours is tonight. Make sure y'all tapped in. Shout out to all of my Bag Chasers. And if you are going to be at the meetup and come and kick it with me, make sure you let me know inside of the comments of the post inside of the Bag Chasers of the announcement of where the meetup is. Don't share that publicly. Yes, you can bring a +1, and if you a girl, you can bring +5. All right? I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all tonight. Peace.